the difference. We'll give you the best deal up front. No haggling, no arguing. We make it easy to buy a new vehicle, and we'll pay you more for your trade-in. Compare our deal to anybody's, and you'll buy from us. Come see us today for the deal of a lifetime on new Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram. At Frank Fletcher Dodge, you'll always get the best price, the lowest finance rate, and more for your trade. And we promise you a hassle-free buying experience. We want to be your dealer for life. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Just tell us what you're looking for and we'll make you a deal. Come see us in person at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter agents Matt Warden, Jamie Marsh, or Richard Yeager in Little Rock today.
Want to get in on the conversation? Shoot us a text at the D3 Auto Sales text line at 501-614-1037. D3 Auto Sales in Desart, the #1 independent dealer in the state, with the best prices and largest selection on pre-owned vehicles, including leveled and lifted trucks. Find them on Facebook. Whether it's football, baseball, or basketball, from high school to the pros, hit us up on the D3 Auto Sales text line.
Arkansas is known for its beauty. Rolling hills, scenic fields and valleys, and beautiful rivers run through our state. We want to keep Arkansas beautiful, but we need your help. Do your part by not littering and by keeping your community clean. Register for a local cleanup or become a litter grabber to fight litter at your own pace. Your community needs you. Join us in keeping Arkansas beautiful. Visit keeparkansasbeautiful.com to learn more. This message brought to you by this station, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, and the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission.
Live from the Gwantey Chevrolet Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz. Weekend Recap, brought to you by Fleet Management Services, serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years. They're your small to mid-sized specialist. When you need someone to service your fleet and get your employees back on the road quick, call 501-375-3672.
Oh, what's going on, everybody? Wes Moore, Joe Franklin with you. It is time for Out of Bounds. Glad you're with us. Busy day today. It's going to be a busy day. It was a nice, relaxing weekend. Pretty chill for me. Not a whole lot of stuff sports-wise on TV. Didn't watch a whole lot of stuff, but got to go out and play a little golf and enjoy the weather. It was incredible. And yesterday I got to see 9 to 5. You know, we had the crew in the studio not too long ago, and it closed. Yesterday was the last day of it, and got to see the final one. It was awesome. They did a great job. What'd you do?
I did watch some sports. There was WNBA. There was the Speedway Classic with Braves and Reds, which actually got rain delayed on Saturday. They played some of the first inning. Mm-hmm. They came back and played it yesterday. So that was pretty cool seeing some baseball inside the track there at Bristol, and did some running around school-wise. So just putting those last-minute touches on everything, getting ready for school. Next weekend will be the last weekend, and then school starts.
Man, it's crazy how fast you blink, and it's time for school to get back going again. Razorbacks are taking advantage of no school right now by working out early. They've been hitting practices early in the morning and getting done. They're already done for today. We got to hear from some of the wide receivers and Coach Fouch, the wide receiver coach. And over the weekend, they had a couple of practices. We're going to get caught up on the Razorbacks and what's gone on at practice, the first 4 practices. Ethan Westerman's going to join us. He writes for the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, WholeHogSports.com. He's going to join us at 2:10 after the Razor Hog update, just to give us a feel for what's happened at practice so far the first couple of days. We got to hear from the tight ends on Saturday, I want to say it was. And Morgan Turner, the tight ends head coach, was talking about just what they're really focused on in fall camp as far as the tight end position.
they each have their own small different things, but as a group overall, like, we need to be smart. Like, we're not going to worry about not getting lined up, not knowing, like, we're going to know our stuff. So that's studying the offense. Like, we got to do it extra. It's a lot of plays. I mean, well, we got to make sure we're on top of it, and then being physical. I mean, in this league, the most physical team's going to win. And so we got to bring that. We got to embrace that O-line side. And so all of them are working on that. Even though if they're there, like, they could always get better with it. So there's a lot of different little things they're each working on. But overall, like, you can see growth in a lot of areas.
You know, that tight end position is kind of like the wide receiver room. You know, it's brand new. Hardly anybody is returning. Now you got
that's not a bad thing, though, for that position.
No, they went out and got a couple of transfers. They got Jordan Platt from Texas A&M. I like the Rohan Jones kid. He is the one who transferred from, I think it was FCS, from up north, but he looks good.
Yeah, the deal with the receivers,
Montana State, yeah.
There were, there was a lot of production there. And so now you're worried about replacing that production. Tight end position, there wasn't a lot of production, so now with it being turned over, you hope to have more production.
Here's Coach Coach Turner on just the new room and what it's like.
I like the way they've, picked it up. It all started when they showed up in January, and Andreas got the whole group together. He's like, we're going go-karting, and took them all out. Like, so they hit the ground running. Like, we've had enough transfers, like, we've had enough movement that they know the faster we could mesh together, the faster we get along, the better we're going to be as a team. And that started right away. I was really impressed with how they did that, and that's just helped all the way through to where we are now.
I read the story over the weekend. It may have been Ethan that wrote that about them going as a tight end group, just some team bonding and race go-karts.
That's cool. That's something that's fun. So they can definitely just have fun with that and take a step back off the field.
Rohan Jones, God, I keep calling him James. Rohan Jones is the one that transferred from Montana State. He also spoke to the media.
I think I adjusted pretty well because I think we have a good tight end group, a good tight end coach, and just like I think we have a lot of good people on the offense that facilitated the adjustment for me. And I think it's the same thing for Jaden and all the new guys on offense. I think we all work together to like get up to the standard of the offense. So it's been a pretty fun journey, but it was pretty cool.
Coach Turner also talked about Jones.
Yeah, way in his past he was a receiver. So naturally he's going to be a good route runner. He's going to catch it well. He runs well, all that stuff. And so the run game is going to be something he didn't spend as much time on growing up. So, and that's the same for really any tight end. They spend most of their life wanting to run routes and catch balls. And so the run game takes a little longer to come along. And just by the nature, he's a smaller tight end. So it's a little harder for him, but he's working hard to do everything we ask, and we're going to be smart in what we ask him to do.
Yeah, Rohan James is a pretty unique story. He talked about his journey as a football player.
Through my whole journey, like as a Canadian football player, I think it was just like challenges and adversity. But I knew that my talent and my willpower would take me to where I would need to be. So from Maine, I know like it wasn't the best experience because we weren't like a really high level program and we weren't very good, but I think like just putting in the work every day and striving for my goals. From there I transferred to Montana State. We had a really great season and I had a great time there. It was amazing, but then we had a coaching change and my OC left, so I knew like it might not be the same thing this upcoming year. So I just wanted to see like what opportunities were open to me because I think I had worked hard and I knew I could make another jump. And then talking with Coach Turner, Coach Petrino, and I knew like coming here would be a great fit for me. And I came on the visit, and I didn't even leave after the visit. I came on my visit and enrolled to school and stayed here ever since.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that. How about that? From Canada to Montana State to Fayetteville.
Yeah, that's a journey, but, those are things that you come to appreciate whenever you put the work in and it pays off for you at some point.
Yeah, he mentioned Coach Petrino and meeting with him and staying. Here's why he came to Arkansas.
It was my second time in the portal, so I was just like, once again, I was just like betting on myself and seeing what's out there. And then when I heard from the coaches, like I don't really care about the logo or the school or whatever. I just want to see how the connection is with the coaches. And after speaking with Coach Petrino, Coach Turner, even Coach Pittman, it just felt like it felt natural, and it felt like they saw me in the same way I see myself, and they had a spot opening for me to come in and do what I do. So I think it was just like, it kind of felt like a perfect fit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about the tight ends. I want to see. I'm ready to see them play. I have no idea. Once again, just kind of like the wide receivers, what kind of production they're going to have, what kind of numbers they're going to put up. But they have some pieces, I feel like. So I'm ready to see them for my own eyes and just see if they're going to be able to add something to the offense that was missing last year.
Well, you think in a Petrino offense, they include the tight ends and that they would be heavily involved, and we didn't see that last year. So now maybe they can implement it and get them more involved.
Isn't that weird? I mean, because we all thought Petrino coming, the way he utilizes the tight ends, Luke he's going to put up monster numbers. And it just didn't happen. It was just – and even when Has was out, they didn't utilize the backup tight ends that often.
And, they do some design things for tight ends in the Petrino offense, but then also it's about hitting the open receiver tight end. If you include him in a route, he becomes a receiver. Mm-hmm. So now that goes on the quarterback more so and finding the open receivers on the field.
Get to the open guy. Jordan Platt's the other one of the others that transferred in from Texas A&M. Now, Platt is familiar with Bobby Petrino in the offense because, well, he was there at Texas A&M.
Yes, I think there was a lot of overlap, and I really appreciate Coach Petrino. He's always believed in me. Ever since I was at A&M, he was always telling me, you have the talent to do what you want to do. You just got to go do it, and that's kind of followed here, And like I said, I really appreciate all that he's done and all the support he's shown, and I really trust his offense that it's gonna create some sparks this year.
Yeah, we all hoping that. Thank you, Jordan.
Also with the tight end position, just the way it has evolved in football as a whole, and we see it on the highest level, NFL, but with college players, they're trying to get in that position, and so the college coaches, they understand that as well, and we've seen some teams that have taken advantage of it and brought in some high-quality tight ends and made them a key part of the offense, a big part of the offense, so it's just a matter of preference there, how heavily involved you want your tight end in the pass game.
Here's more from Jordan Platt talking about the differences between A&M and Arkansas.
I would say the biggest difference is the culture and the family at Arkansas. Kind of when I came here, the family aspect of things hit me right away. Like, here I could go up to any guy in the locker room. It doesn't matter position, weight, or height, whatever it is. I could go up to him and have a conversation and it be real, and that's something that I appreciate, and I'm sure everyone else does. Everything is like a family, and the meaning one hog, like, that's true. It's true what it is.
We also got to hear from Scott Fountain over the weekend. Have a new kicker at Arkansas. And they're competing though.
Go back to the spring. He had a good spring. Like I said, great spring. He did well over in the practice fields, not as well in the game situations. But, the first 2 days, the third day, today was the first day to do live field goals. He made them all, so that was a good start. And then our charting part that we do over here at the stadium, when everybody else is over there practicing, he's done really well there as well. And, I think I'm pleased where he's at. He's young, so, you know how freshmen are going to react. But I think his personality is a lot like Cam Little's. So I'm excited about him, and the most important thing for him is just make field goals this year.
Is Starzik the guy? I mean, have you guys?
We always compete. We're trying, letting Blake Ford compete. I think Blake's, transferred back here from North Texas. Charlie Vondermeeden's here. We're letting them compete. So I think after camp we'll make that for sure decision. But I think Scott's in a good place coming out of spring.
We'll talk more, or we'll hear more from the coaches, tight ends, a little bit later in the show. I want to get to the college football rankings. They came out this morning, the coaches poll. And your number one team in the country is Texas. Your number two team in the country is Ohio State.
No surprise with either of those teams.
You think part of that's to hype up the big matchup?
No. Ohio State is your defending national champ. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, they lost players off that team. And then Texas was a team that made it to the Final Four of college football playoff, and they have a lot of expectations there.
Penn State is number 3. Georgia is 4. And Notre Dame, who Arkansas will see early in the season, is number 5. Clemson 6, picked to win the ACC. Oregon 7. Bama 8. LSU 9. and Miami is number 10. So Arkansas will play 3 of the top 10 teams, preseason top 10 teams.
Yeah.
Texas,
Crazy.
Notre Dame, LSU. At least they don't have to have Georgia and Alabama, right? There's your positive thought about it. It could be
It's
going to
be
worse.
a tough schedule every year. So they go in with that in mind, and they make it tougher when they schedule tougher non-conference opponents.
Notre Dame, yeah. Miami's 10.
Well, Memphis on the road, that's not your typical non-conference game.
No, especially since they won the conference or picked to win the conference this year. Miami 10. Let's see. Arizona was 11. Illinois 12. Ole Miss, another opponent, ranked number 13. You've got 15. Sorry, South Carolina was 13. I was surprised a little bit to see South Carolina that high up there at 13.
With Lenore Sellers and everything that they've been talking about going into it, they played some really tough, close games last year, and they were a step away in a few of those where, if the ball rolls a different way for them, then they look a lot better coming into this season.
SMU is 16, Florida 17, Tennessee 18. I thought Tennessee might be a little higher, so I'll give the voters a little credit in realizing everything that they've lost on offense, having to rebuild on that side of the ball. Indiana is 19, Kansas State 20, Texas A&M 21. They're tied with Iowa State at 21. BYU 23, Texas Tech bought a heck of a team. 24. And Boise. Do they just leave a spot at number 25 every year for Boise and basically do the top 24 and then put Boise at 25?
They've been ranked higher, though. So they're always in that top 25, it seems like.
Mm-hmm. Who jumps out? Anybody jump out at you at being a little overranked or underranked on that list?
Maybe Indiana. And part of that is they probably don't feel like Indiana can duplicate what they did last season, but at the same time showing respect and having a quality program that they've built to put them in top 25. So I think it may be a little lower, but they'll have their opportunity to play their way up.
Okay, top 5. I'll say it again. Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, Notre Dame. Your pick for one of those 5 not to be a top 15, top 10 team, a team that is most likely out of those 5 to drop out of it.
Georgia.
Not be a playoff team.
Georgia. Well, I don't know about not. I mean, because there are 12 spots.
Mm-hmm.
So any of those teams could get into a 12 spot.
Mm-hmm.
But Georgia to not be a top 5 team, I say Georgia.
Okay.
Because at some point, you can turn it over and you have all this talent coming in, but at some point, it's not going to equate to the field the same way.
I think it's my pick's Texas. I'm just not sold on Texas with everything they lost last year. And maybe part of it is Texas hate, but another part is how many times have we seen Texas is back? So many years it was like, all right, here they are, they're back.
Well, are they not back now?
They were back last year, but now it's. Now you know what? It's a new roster. It's a new year.
You got to give credit where credit is due. They are back.
They were great last year.
They were a couple of plays away from playing for a national championship.
I'm not sold on Miami at 10. I think that might be a little high.
They bring in a lot of talent every year too, and they don't necessarily get to the level where they're wanting to get. And it seems like they may drop a game or two that they shouldn't, and it's because of their defense. Their defense has not been good. And we've seen the same thing with the USC over the past few years.
Yeah.
They've been high quality on offense, but their defense hasn't been up to par.
How about Bielema in Illinois at 12? Good for him.
They're getting a lot of respect.
Yeah, they are.
Well deserved.
Yeah, no, and they return a bunch from last year's team, and they may have more returning starters than just about anybody on the list. South Carolina, Michigan at 14 seems a little low. You're used to seeing Michigan a little high, but after last year, I get it. SMU getting a little bit of love at 16. Nobody else really sticks out as being too high or too low, but not too bad by the coaches. All right, Coming up, here's what we got planned for the day. We are going to, like I said, talk with Ethan Westerman at 2:10 after the Razor Hog update. We'll get his update from practice over the weekend and this morning. Kevin Kelly, head coach of the Sheridan Yellow Jackets, will join us at 2:30. We'll get his thoughts on his summer and how the Yellow Jackets are progressing and getting ready for fall ball. David Basil's going to join us at 3:30. I wanted him to go over the lineup and just tell us what all it took to once again pull it off and get all these. Jimmy Johnson, I can't wait. Love Coach Johnson.
Well, newly retired. He has some time to do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, and it was one of those that when he retired, I was like, he's got to get him now. He's got to get him. He's got to get Jimmy. And Mac Brown made a lot of sense, too, when he was talking about the Texas week and the former coach. I was like, oh, Mac Brown. He now has some time on his hands. Besides Baz, Kevin Kelly, next up, Richard Davenport's going to join us. Really cool story. Richard normally joins us on Thursdays, but he had a outstanding story, I thought, in the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette yesterday in Sunday's paper, where he outlined, he had the numbers. I mean, it was total revenue brought in by these universities and comparing what they're spending on recruiting, their recruiting budget, the number of people on their staff, and Arkansas is lagging way behind. I mean, there's no way to spin it. It's just Arkansas is not spending money on recruiting. And you've got schools with a similar budget and money that they're bringing in that's spending a lot more on recruiting, and Ole Miss was one of them that stuck out. But then there are even non-SEC schools that are spending more and have more people working in their recruiting department than Arkansas.
It's a problem, and it's a problem that if they don't solve it, they're going to stay where they are. They're not going to elevate and have this program on a level where they should be.
Well, I wanted to get Richard on here a little early just to talk about that, and it was eye-opening for me to see those figures and to read his story. So we'll do that when we come back, talk a little recruiting numbers, finances with Richard Davenport. Also coming up, we got what's trending, the Razor Hog update, and we'll take some phone calls. I'll check the D3 Auto Sales text line, and it's going to be a good Monday. Get this week rolling. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Are you still on the sidelines? Then it's time you suit up and get in the game. Download Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app, Bet Saracen, today.
This is SportsCenter.
Over the weekend in Major League Baseball, Boston continued their ascent of the American League East by sweeping the Astros. They're now second in the East with 62 wins, 3 behind the Blue Jays. The Marlins also swept their matchup over the weekend, beating the Yankees in all 3. All time versus the Yankees, the Marlins are 25-24. That makes them the only team in Major League Baseball to have a winning record against New York. Miami was 16 games below 500 on June 11th. They're now 55-55 on the season. And the Brewers improved on their MLB best record in their sweep of the Nationals, getting their 67th win on the year. They also set a franchise record for most hits over a 3-game span with 56. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
Fun Monday show today. Want to thank Pat Bradley for coming on the program. Also want to thank Chris Kane for stopping by. We'll have Bill Vickery later this week. Roger, Baz, and Justin are back tomorrow. They'll break down the 2025 Touchdown Club lineup that's announced today by David Schaefer and John Daly, as well as some Family Feud. It's all going down 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Tuesday morning right here on 103.7 The Buzz. It's Morning Mayhem.
What drives you? Family moments, new adventures, or just the love of the open road? Whatever it is, Gwantey Chevrolet is here to help you get there. For generations, we've been more than a dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small. With a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free, we're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GwanteyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Ray Tucker with good news for enthusiasts of Triumph motorcycles. Honda of North Little Rock now carries the legendary classics and cutting-edge rides. We have the Bonneville Bobber, Daytona 600, the TF450X, the Stunning Ever Special Edition, and the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. You get the idea. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Are you tired of that old, outdated bathtub but not sure who to call? Use a contractor you can trust. Bath Makeover of Arkansas offers a 5-year workmanship warranty, a lifetime product warranty, and a dedicated 800 number just for warranty claims. And every estimate comes with a price lock guarantee. We are your trusted local source for high-quality, American-made baths and showers installed in as little as 1 day, featuring our revolutionary new laser-etched shower wall systems. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH during our 60-60-60 sale. Receive 60% off installation of a new bath or shower with 60-month financing options, senior and military discounts, plus receive a $60 Visa gift card with purchase. And call 1-800-NEW-BATH now for a bonus, a free $25 Starbucks gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH. That's 1-800-NEWBATH.
Welcome to Moe's. Everywhere you look, prices are going up, but not at Moe's Southwest Grill. Here, the best deal in burritos just got better. We lowered the prices on our Moe Monday special. The burritos and bowls you love are now starting at $6.99. Hot and delicious, made your way with high-quality ingredients. We never cut corners. Guess that's why our bowls are round. Come see us this Monday. And here's my daughter, Andy Kate, with a reminder.
Remember, kids eat free on Sundays. Welcome to Moe's.
Morning Mayhem wants to know, is it fact or is it crap? Listen each week for your chance to play, presented by Arkansas Municipal Equipment and 270 Grill in Poen. Arkansas Municipal Equipment, check them out at amctrucks.com.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwantey Chevrolet studio.
Welcome back. Oh my gosh, Josh was just in here. We were talking about football on TV. Fox 16 will have the Cowboys on Saturday night at 6 o'clock for their first preseason game. And we were looking at the schedule for this week. NFL Network is just blowing it out. I mean, they've got 2 games on Thursday night, a doubleheader. Colts, Ravens at 6. They got the Raiders and Seahawks at 9. Then they come back on Friday and do a Browns-Panthers, 6 o'clock. And then Saturday, it is a triple header. Giants-Bills at noon, Texans-Vikings at 3. That night at 7, they have the Jets and Packers. And then Sunday, a doubleheader. Dolphins-Bears at noon, Saints-Chargers at 3. So if you're ready for some football, NFL Network has you covered Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Basically turn it on the NFL Network, and they're going to have a preseason game on later this week.
That's what you get this time of year, NFL Network. And then not only do they have their live games, but they replay all games. So you're going to get whatever your favorite team is. You just find out what time they'll replay that game on NFL Network.
Football's back, baby. Bring in Richard Davenport, the recruiting guy for the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette and WholeHogSports.com. It is Monday. I don't want to throw anybody off. Normally, Richard is a staple on Thursdays, but, man, your story yesterday was so good that I wanted to talk about it today. What's up, RD?
Hey, buddy. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you bet. Eye-opening is the way I described it.
Yeah. I'd known about staffing versus other SEC schools for a while. Get enough information from sources and other areas to and basically to what you saw Sunday is the end result. Arkansas and Vanderbilt have the least amount of recruiting staff members in the SEC, 5 each. Most of the other schools have double that or triple that. So it's pretty. As a matter of fact, I've had 2 former staffers reach out to me and thank me. And it's not a pat on the back or anything. It's just thank me for putting that together, because they were frustrated when they were at Arkansas by the lack of funding for recruiting in other areas of the football program. So it's not recruiting staff, it's analysts, it's salary pool for the assistant coaches, which Arkansas is next to last to Mississippi State. Mississippi State last year spent $5.2 million, and salary for the 10 assistant coaches, Arkansas spent $6.1. And then Ole Miss, who brings in less revenue than Arkansas, athletic revenue, paid their assistants $8.9. So it's not just the recruiting staff; it's all over the football program.
How long did it take you to kind of research this across all these schools and put it together?
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. As far as what I did was, as far as the other schools, and I just went to the directory and looked up recruiting, scouting, and personnel. Those are the titles that generally indicate recruiting staff. And then came up football scoop had salaries for Georgia's recruiting staff and Texas A&M's recruiting staff. I had some about the list of schools and their recruiting staff and salary pools both, and Arkansas was last on that list that I was able to put together through several sources. So just this one part of the story yesterday also pointed out that coming into the SEC, Oklahoma had 4 staff members in the recruiting staff. Now 8. So they knew what was coming up, and they've invested in other areas too, as far as administration and operations for the football program, GMs and stuff like that. And several GMs, and Arkansas got Remy. He's the lone one that I know of right now. So again, it wasn't that difficult as far as looking up the each school and the amount of personnel and the recruiting staff. That I had to wait for several sources to come through with information talking about salaries and other parts of the column.
So this is something where the revenue is there, but it's just a matter of wanting to spend it in certain areas to make the staff better and make recruiting as a whole better.
Pretty much. I know Arkansas has some debt. I think it's pertaining to the North End Zone renovation. But I would imagine most other schools, they've had facility updates, not only just with football, but all the athletic programs. And I'm sure that they're carrying some debt, too. That Arkansas ranks number 11 in the SEC and number 20 nationally in 2022, according to USA Today. Arkansas had $152 million in revenue, and say Ole Miss had 133. I would imagine that number's probably, as far as the difference, probably about the same as it is now. But we're talking about really two and a half years ago. So it was like I said, I kind of knew what this was going to show, but probably kind of surprised me even more so as I dived into more information. And who was the director of football personnel at Arkansas, just recently left Fayetteville for Auburn, and sources told me that he's going to leave Arkansas and go to Auburn and basically double his pay. So again, and then that just shows the amount of money, and they're focused on Auburn's dedication to say to the football program. They have 15 staff members versus Arkansas's 5.
Wow. So what are these staff? Because when I think of recruiting, and I just think it's the assistant coaches, hitting the road and recruiting these kids. What are these other like at other schools when you have 10, 15 other members in your recruiting department? What are they doing? What are their jobs?
Most of the time when coaches see film, it's because of the staff, the recruiting staff and personnel staff that look at film and say, "Hey, coach, this is the guy worthy of a look for as a possible scholarship offer." Now, the coaches do that too during the off season, but during the season, they do set aside times to look at video of high school prospects. But it's basically from the personnel recruiting staff passing along kids to take a look at. They don't have time to go on the internet and research and things of that nature during the season. They're locked into the season, so their time's very limited. They spend a very limited time on recruiting during the season, but they will look at video, and then they'll send out some handwritten letters. But that's another thing. Arkansas's recruiting staff is able to communicate with recruits just like all the other schools in the country and their recruiting staff. And, when you only have, a handful of people being able to send handwritten letters and communications to recruits when other schools have 10 to 17. When I say 17, Tennessee has 17 members in the recruiting staff. That right there is something that Arkansas has to overcome, because kids today, especially, they like to be wanted, and they like to feel the love, as they say. So Arkansas is kind of limited there too.
If you look at the most successful programs like Alabama, they pretty much set the standard where they were the school that was doing this with all the different coaches, the advisors, consultants, and they've had a lot of success. So you've seen this kind of be put out as a blueprint, and other schools have followed this as, if you want to be successful, this is what you need to do. And so for all those schools that are at the top, that's what they have in place. And then even schools that are trying to get to that level, they have it in place where they do have a number of coaches. And these are detailed positions where it just makes certain coaches' jobs easier, where they're not overloaded with having to do so many different things. Another coach has that responsibility, and they're able to relay it back to maybe the position coaches and the coordinators to get these recruits on board.
There's no doubt about that. And I'm not saying that if Arkansas had 10, 12 people in the recruiting staff, Arkansas would have top 10 classes or anything like that. I'm not going to say that. Mm-hmm. But would it help Arkansas have the opportunity and the chances to improve their recruiting? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think I'm not going to sit here and say that Arkansas automatically would start having top 10, top 15 classes just because of an increase in staffing, but it would definitely help them climb the ladder, so to speak, versus where they are now. They're consistently in the top 20 to top 30 as far as recruiting classes, in high school ranks. So I think it would definitely help there. And then this is probably the area where it really, there's two other areas where it really impacts. Game day recruiting, when you have the kids on campus. You have, say, 60 kids, and about 20 of them, 25 of them are top tier recruits. When you have staff, you only can spend so much time with each guy and his family, and have a little bit more deeper recruiting staff, and they're able to spend more time, and from, say, as soon as they arrive on campus to the time they leave. I was talking to a source a while back, and they were saying that they believe that's cost them a few kids. And another area where it definitely impacts Arkansas, the portal season. The portal season, basically, you're looking at about a month of recruiting. It's very intense. Once a kid gets in the portal, reach out to them. Well, Arkansas, 3 of the staff members reach out to the portal guys in the portal, and when you have many more staff members at other schools, they have a better chance of reaching out and getting these kids, and obviously getting a hold of more kids. And sometimes it's not always, but oftentimes it's the first few schools that get a hold of the kids and starts to talk to them, and they get those visits lined up so they can already get somebody lined up to visit campus. So again, that's another disadvantage that Arkansas has, and it's very, like I said, the portal season. You can look at the staff at Arkansas, especially the recruiting staff. Near the end of it, they're just cooked. I mean, they're 3 guys trying to do the work of 6, 10, 12, 15 that other staffs have. So that's the 2 other areas where it definitely impacts Arkansas.
Got Richard Davenport with us, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. And Richard, it wasn't, you told us they were ranked in the bottom of the SEC in the spending and the number of staff, but there were other schools outside of the SEC that make less revenue than Arkansas that still does more than Arkansas. I thought that was even more eye-opening.
Yeah, I was told that there were several Group of 5 schools that had bigger staff, recruiting staffs than Arkansas. And I covered all the SEC schools. I didn't want to overdo it with other schools, but I did go in South Florida. South Florida generated $56 million in revenue in 2022. Arkansas again generated $152 million. They had eight members on their recruiting staff versus 5 for Arkansas.
Yeah, eye-opening. Hey, I got a question on the D3 Auto Sales text line from Steve, and Steve is asking, so who's to blame for this, the lack of resources and money to go to the recruiting department?
Well, whoever allots the money for each program, I would assume that's
that's what
you look at the revenue that Ole Miss generated in 2022 is $133 million. To Arkansas's $152. They're definitely outspending Arkansas. So to the football program is, when you really start to look at it, is pretty alarming. And you're asking a staff and Coach Pittman to compete, and when it's really not a fair fight, and I just went to the Alabama website, the staff directory. They have like 13 analysts. You know how many Arkansas has? 1.
To me, it sounds like at other schools, priority is football, and at Arkansas, the priority is all the sports. You think that's a safe assumption?
I've had former people on the staff tell me that, and it's frustrating because they believe that again, it's not a fair fight. You're asking the football program to be try 9-10 games when the support and the resources are just not there.
Good stuff, Richard. It is. You said it twice, I think. Eye-opening. And I enjoyed reading your article, and you did a great job with it. I appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on today and outside of your normal Thursday appearance.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me. Take care.
See you. It's Richard Davenport, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Again, that story ran yesterday in the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. And I saw Richard tweet it out, and if you don't have the paper lying around, get on social media, and you can see it there, read it there. We got to take a break. We'll wrap up the first hour when we come back. Still to come, we'll go back to Fayetteville and talk some Razorback football with Ethan Westerman. Stick around, it's Out of Bounds.
All agents for the $950,000 Agent 7 operation at Southland Casino Hotel. Earn entries daily in August and September to win huge free play prizes or a 2025 BMW. Join us August 30th and September 27th when 10 lucky spies will win up to $10,007 in free play or your own getaway car. A 2025 BMW. You've got your mission. Agent 7 operation at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Willie D's Rock and Roll Piano Bar open every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Cold drinks and dueling pianos. Deep Nightclub downstairs hosts karaoke on Tuesdays and DJ Spin on Friday and Saturday nights. Visit WillieD'sPianoBar.com.
Are you dreaming of excitement and adventure? Hubbard Power Sports Can-Am and Sea-Doo of Russellville is the place to be. From the cost-effective and customizable Sea-Doo Switch pontoon boat to a one-of-a-kind Can-Am Spider, Hubbard Power Sports has what you're looking for. Looking for a Sea-Doo personal watercraft? Don't worry, we've got you covered there too. From a Can-Am Defender farm rig to the all-new 240-horsepower Can-Am Maverick R, we've got it all. With a large selection of Can-Am four-wheelers and side-by-side models in stock now. Stop by and see us in Russellville. Visit us at hubbardpowersports.com.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
With Progressive, you can reach customer service in the way that's easiest for you, by phone, app, or online. We know it would be great if we just magically appeared, but that's more of a genie thing, and we do insurance. But with us, you'd be like, well, it wasn't a genie, but it was great customer service, so that's nice. And sure, you probably would still like the whole 3 wishes thing, so if you meet a genie, you should definitely ask. But when you need us, contact Progressive by phone, app, or online. Just no genies. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Injured? There's only one number you need to know. 888-8888.
At Rainwater Holton Sexton, no case is too big and no insurance company too strong.
Just dial 888-8888.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
For over 30 years, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has been Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters and the only stop for all your truck parts and accessories. If it goes on a truck, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has got it. And that includes upgrading your truck with Vortex spray liners. Tough, durable, proudly made in the USA. Their spray liners can protect your truck for years to come. Call Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse at 501-568-0040 to schedule your spray. Or stop by 65th and University.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwantey Chevrolet studio. Gwantey Chevrolet. Driving? Trust every mile. Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
Wrapping up our first hour. Wes Moore and Joe Franklin with you. Take a look at the Gwantey Chevrolet live fan feedback. Gridiron Chick says, gentlemen, it's officially out. College football top 25 coaches poll. Any surprises? I said earlier, we talked about it a few minutes ago, but I was surprised that Illinois got the love. They got a lot of players coming back. Brett Bielema looks like he has a good team, but they gave them some love, put them up there pretty high. What was it? I don't have the poll in front of me anymore. No surprise at the top. Texas, Ohio State, Georgia's up there. Notre Dame at 5, not a surprise. Thought Texas Tech might get a little bit more love after they spent so much in the portal. They were 24. NFL Guru says on the Gwantey Chevrolet live fan feedback, since it looks like talks are at a standstill between the Cowboys and Micah Parsons. Joe, what are your thoughts on Micah Parsons possibly coming to the Steelers, and how could he help their defense?
He could help any defense out there if he did go to another team, but don't think it would happen with Steelers simply because they paid a lot of money to T.J. Watt and other players that they've just brought in. So don't think that that would be possible.
501, we were talking about what we did over the weekend. 501s. I was watching some horse racing. Saw a couple good races. Mark's horse finished second.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Yeah. Went off as the favorite and finished second and got a nice little check.
NFL Hall of Fame ceremony. That was something else.
Were the speeches good?
They were. They were really good. And they've limited the amount of time that these guys have, but they still seem to go over at times. But they had a smaller class this time around, so they were able to maybe focus and do some different things in between speeches that you probably wouldn't have seen much of in the past, where they're running highlights, they're recapping the speeches. They were able to do a lot more of that simply because you had 4 going in, and they were all players. There were no contributors, coaches, GMs, execs this time.
Back to the D3 Auto Sales text line. Lance says Texas is back as much as Dallas. And yes, I'm a Dallas fan. Horns down. So he doesn't think much of either one of them this season. Steve says, I think the Razorbacks have committed the money to the basketball program. Toyotech.
They could do both.
Yeah, sure some schools are doing both.
Oh, there are many schools that are doing both.
Toyotech says that segment explains a whole hell of a lot. Absolutely ridiculous. Love the show as always. Thank you for the text, and thanks for listening. TP in Little Rock. Listen up, Hogs fans. For this to change, we have to stop spending our hard-earned money going to watch a team that will never win more than 6 or 7 games each year. Since Hunter doesn't care, then why should we win? Then why should we care? Let's enjoy watching the games on TV with cold beverage and our own grill fired up at home until we decide we're ready to compete with the others. 501 asked, where was Ole Miss ranked, West? They were bringing in less revenue than Arkansas, but spending more money than Arkansas on their recruiting office. Yeah, it's disappointing because we know NIL-wise, Arkansas's behind. And that's really what it takes. But if you're going to try to find some diamonds in the rough, find some guys that can help you compete, well, you don't even have the staff for that.
And stop making the excuse that we don't have the money. The money is there.
Just spending it somewhere else.
Spending it. It's a matter of if you want to spend it.
Good job, RD. Coming up, we got the Razor Hog update brought to you by Standing Firm Farms. And then Ethan Westerman will join us from the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette with the practice report. Hour number 2 is next.
Congo Fireplace and Patio is having a huge summer blowout sale. Save hundreds of dollars on the best selection and best quality of outdoor furniture in the state. Choose from over 100 brand name collections, dining sets, seating groups, bar sets, chaises, and gliders in stock and ready to go. And now everything is up to 50% off. Plus, Congo has a great selection of built-in grills, pellet smokers, and fire pits. Family owned and operated since 1920. Shop local and feel the difference. Congo Fireplace and Patio, I-30 Benton.
Summer is here, and so are soggy wands and muddy paw prints. Acadie's Touch Landscaping specializes in transforming outdoor spaces with refined solutions, drainage systems, retaining walls, and flower beds designed with ease of care in mind. Plus custom decks, fencing, and synthetic turf design to help clean up your kids' play areas and pet runs. Customize your space to enjoy year-round. Call Acadie's Touch Landscaping, 501-794-2770. Let Acadie's Touch turn your dirt into dreams.
Get in the conversation with life and feedback at 1037thebuzz.com. Presented on Out of Bounds by Gwantey Chevrolet in Jacksonville.
Game time or play time. We're here all the time.
I wish you had more time.
1037 The Buzz, KABZ, Little Rock.
One man is arrested and 3 people are hospitalized after what police say was a fight between brothers. Sevier County Sheriff's deputies were responding to a shooting Friday when they learned of a fiery wreck nearby. They say Justin Massengill was driving away from his brother Robert for being shot and then crashed. 2 passengers in his car were seriously hurt. Dirk's police later arrested Robert and booked him into the county jail. This morning he's facing domestic battery and gun charges. 4 suspects are in custody in Arkansas after police say they tried to steal an ATM in Tennessee. According to Murfreesboro police, a group of men drove a truck up to an ATM at a 7-Eleven Friday morning. We're told the men pulled the machine off its base and a customer intervened, shooting and killing suspect 23-year-old Tyrese Walder. Police say the 4 other suspects drove away. Arkansas State Police later stopped their vehicle and arrested them. They're awaiting extradition back to Tennessee. I'm Sincere Tonsel for KRK4 Today for the Buzz Radio Network.
Get in the conversation with life and feedback at 1037thebuzz.com. Presented on Out of Bounds by Gwantey Chevrolet in Jacksonville.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center.
Well, after a pleasant first weekend of August, we've got temperatures warming up on this Monday with highs back into the lower 90s and mostly sunny conditions. Temperatures drop into the lower 70s overnight with mostly clear conditions. We're going to see hot temperatures heading into your Tuesday with highs in the mid to lower 90s. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Christopher Pipkin.
Benihana Happy Hour Specials, $3, $6, $9. Sushi, food, and cocktails. Available 5 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday at Benihana Bar.
Hi, this is Joe Klein with Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. Whether you're dining in for daily specials like Cheese Dip Happy Hour, driving through for a barbecue bulk pickup order, or prefer our full-service catering, our professional staff at Corky's has you covered. Corky's in Little Rock and North Little Rock. We'll see you soon. And be sure to listen each week when I stop by 1037 The Buzz.
What drives you? Family moments, new adventures, or just the love of the open road? Whatever it is, Gwantey Chevrolet is here to help you get there. For generations, we've been more than a dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small. With a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free, we're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GwanteyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Fried green tomato salad is back and better than ever at Eat My Catfish. It'll only be here for a limited time, so stop by or order online from any of our 7 Eat My Catfish locations to try this delicious fan favorite today. Eat fresh, eat local, Eat My Catfish.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshields, and slick roads quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter agents Nick Gennardi, Daniel Vickers, or Becky Bradley in Sherwood today.
Arkansas broadcast legend Craig O'Neill joins Morning Mayhem each week, presented by Petit Jean Meats, locally owned and operated for 4 generations. With Petit Jean Meats, people always know where their meat is coming from, made right here in Arkansas.
Congo Fireplace and Patio is having a huge summer blowout sale. Save hundreds of dollars on the best selection and best quality of outdoor furniture in the state. Choose from over 100 brand name collections, dining sets, seating groups, bar sets, chaises, and gliders in stock and ready to go. And now everything is up to 50% off. Plus, Congo has a great selection of built-in grills, pellet smokers, and fire pits. Family owned and operated since 1920. Shop local and feel the difference. Congo Fireplace and Patio, I-30 Benton.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with David Dennis Jr.
I'm happy that the dude is feeling good. I'm happy that he's in shape. I'm happy all of that stuff is happening. The PR around it, a little much for me, especially because I'm not sure if that even translates to good defense. I'm not even sure if that translates to being able to go out there and play for 48 minutes if you need to without getting gassed. Like, these things are not necessarily hand in hand here, right? There are a lot of people who are in shape, who got six-packs, who got pecs, who got all that, who can't play a lick of defense, who get beat on back screens, who get beat on back cuts, who get left on the island and can't defend anybody. I'm glad Luka's in shape, and I'm glad that that's going to mean something for them offensively. But also, if you're looking in April and May and you're playing the Timberwolves again and everybody's looking at you like you are chicken out there and Anthony Edwards got you on the island, you can't defend him, all of that don't mean anything.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Live from the Gwantey Chevrolet studio, this is Out of Bounds with Wes Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz. Your Razor Hog Update is brought to you by Standing Firm Farms in Greenbrier. StandingFirmFarms.com for high-end restaurant quality, fresh Angus beef delivered to your doorstep. Get a hold of them at StandingFirmFarms.com.
Practice number 4 is in the books for the Razorbacks. They got at it early this morning. Over the weekend, we got to hear from Scott Fountain, special teams coach. Hoping to have a dynamic return game this fall.
At punt returner, I'm trying to think, we have Mega Blake, which is back there working a little bit, and also Sharp's back there working. But I think Cam will be our guy at the end of the day. But all three of those guys have kind of stood out to me. Kickoff return, of course, Rodney Hill, I think he's had a really good spring, really good camp. And the backing kid that's a freshman here has kind of caught my attention a little bit. But we'll see. And also, I think you may see Braylon Russell as an off returner or a returner occasionally, just a big body. And, he's not afraid of contact. So I'm kind of interested to see how he does. We started working at off returner right now. But I'm excited. I think we got, I was talking to Coach Pitt about this. I think we have better returners, better athletes to choose from this year than I've had them the 6 years I've been here. So I'm pretty excited about that.
So that's good news. Also got to hear from the tight ends, Rohan Jones, the transfer from Montana State, talks about Talon Green.
Talon's a great guy, and we're all neighbors. Like, the three of us live on the same street, so I think we spend a lot of time together, like, not only football-wise, but outside of football, and that's great for just building chemistry, building a connection between us. and kind of like the timing aspect. Like he knows where to put the ball for Jaden, he knows where to put the ball for me, and he's done a great job of like bringing us to throw on the weekends when there's no mandatory workouts. So I think he did a great job with us.
Also got to hear from Jaden Platt. He's the transfer from Texas A&M. Got to play under Bobby Petrino, so he's a little familiar with the offense.
Yes, I think there was a lot of overlap, and I really appreciate Coach Petrino. He's always believed in me. Ever since I was at A&M, he was always telling me, you have the talent to do what you want to do. You just got to go do it, and that's kind of followed here, and like I said, I really appreciate all that he's done and all the support he's shown, and I really trust his offense that it's gonna create some sparks this year.
A lot of new tight ends in that tight end room. The tight end coach, Morgan Turner, was talking about the new room.
I like the way they've, picked it up. It all started when they showed up in January, and Andreas got the whole group together. He's like, we're going go-karting, and took them all out. They hit the ground running. We've had enough transfers, we've had enough movement that they know the faster we could mesh together, the faster we get along, the better we're going to be as a team. And that started right away. I was really impressed with how they did that, and that's just helped all the way through to where we are now.
Another Razorback note for you. Micah New, the baseball player that Arkansas got out of the portal, he has been named the MVP of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Matt Jones from WholeHogSports.com has that story out right now. So big, productive summer for New, and give you a little something to hope for. And baseball note, I saw this report last night on Twitter, but it now is official. The Seattle Mariners have just moved up two of their top prospects to Little Rock, so they'll be joining the other top prospects that came. So they're bringing in some talent to North Little Rock and the Travs. The one of them's the pitcher, the ambidextrous pitcher from Mississippi State. We saw him a couple years ago. Those that mainly now, I think, from the right-handed side, they kind of quit with that experiment. He'll still, on occasion, against a lefty, when it's a good lefty-lefty matchup, he'll go left-handed, but he's been throwing more from the right-handed side. All right, let's talk some more Razorback football. Ethan Westerman joins us now with the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, WholeHogSports.com. You've been there the first 4 days. What do you think? Overall thoughts after 4 practices?
Yeah, I think that, first of all, what kind of stands out to me is they just have a lot of more guys back right now. I think in the spring it maybe made things a little bit, just more difficult, especially on the defensive side. They were way outnumbered in the spring as far as they just didn't have the numbers between guys being hurt or, a lot of guys that they were just kind of waiting for the spring portal, I think, to plug in some positions. They were just kind of at a numbers disadvantage in the spring, but it's just, yeah, you hear coaches talk about depth this time of year, and I think you normally kind of inclination is take it as a grain of salt because, at SEC Media Days, every coach has amazing depth and everybody's bigger, faster, stronger. But, looking at this team on the field, that they truly do have a lot more guys right now, and I think guys that could play. So I think that the depth kind of stands out to me right now. Other than that, I think kind of my main takeaway is just going to practice is you can sense the level of familiarity and comfort for Taylon Green right now. I mean, they say all this stuff about year 2 under Bobby Petrino and what that can do for a quarterback, and I really do think there's a lot of truth to that with just learning the playbook and being comfortable with kind of being that coach on the field too. So that stands out as well. Just kind of, I feel like the command that he has of this team.
It's only been a short time, but for these days, what players look like they can come in and make an immediate impact?
Yeah, you're just talking about newcomers?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure y'all had plenty of people calling on the show or other, reporters out there telling you, but seriously, Antonio Jordan, the freshman receiver from Warren, you just see him and you watch him in practice and you just know he's extremely talented. I know a lot of people have been saying that, if they had normal kind of, a lot of these Warren kids, they just kind of, I guess maybe fall through the cracks in recruiting because they don't go to some of these big camps or whatnot. But it just seems to me, watching him, his raw talent, his athleticism, and, today we spoke with Coach Fouch, the receivers coach, and he just bragged on how much Antonio Jordan loves football, too. It's just, this is a kid that I think is going to come in, and he's going to get a chance. I think that's pretty clear throughout the first 2 days, and Sam Pittman mentioned it down at Media Days. It was kind of the first time that we really got to hear how excited somebody was about, this true freshman. But I really am looking at him as somebody who I think will have a chance as a freshman. I think other newcomers that I'm looking for, the receiver room at large is pretty new this year. Pretty much the only familiarity there is C.J. Brown, the redshirt freshman from Bentonville. It's his second year in the system. And then Monte Harrison, he's going to have his 30th birthday here in a few days, the former MLB player. He's a piece of continuity in that room. But other than that, it's just a whole new-look receiver room, and they're going to have some guys step up there. I think that I look at their room, and it could be kind of a spread the wealth situation this year. I'm not sure you're going to have your Andrew Armstrong that just, has all these yards, leads the SEC in receiving, but I do think they're going to, somebody's going to have to catch the passes, and they're really focusing right now on just creating separation. It's not a big room. It's pretty small across the board, to be honest, but they're all fast, and they're really focusing on yards after catch, too. So I just think that I look at that receiver room, and it's going to be a lot of new faces that people haven't seen. It's just those are going to be who's going to have to catch the ball. And even at the tight end spot, Rohan Jones, the Montana State transfer, obviously a really good FCS program there, came from a team that was runner-up at that level. I think he had an adjustment period to SEC football just because, he's actually originally from Canada, too, so he just had never been in a program or, like, a state even where football was this important, and he's bulked up some. He's probably their top pass-catching tight end option, but then they have a couple good blockers, too, with Andreas Pushka and Jaden Platt from Texas A&M. So the offensive side of the ball is really where I see the most just new faces. Running back Mike Washington, he's going to be a big part of the offense. He's a transfer from New Mexico State. It's just the playmakers on offense, a lot of them are going to be new guys that people aren't too familiar with.
Got Ethan Westerman with us on Out of Bounds. Ethan, I'm curious about Shaq McRoy. Can he move for that being that size? Can he be a right tackle in the SEC going up against some of those speed rushers?
Yeah, I really think he can. He's athletic for his size. He's huge. He does take one look at the online roster and the height and weight, and you're like, all right, this guy's a unit. He really is, but he can move pretty well. They get used to this. They really like him at right tackle at the same time as Kobe Branham, redshirt freshman from Fort Smith. They like him at right guard, so you have on that side of the line, Shaq and Kobe. Get used to that because those are two young guys that I really think that they're high on. Either one of them could start this year. I think Amarion Harris, he's the front runner for one of those two spots. He's pretty versatile along the line to start at either right guard or right tackle. But those two also, they're right there. They're going to be pushing him, I think. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kobe Branham ends up being the starting right guard. But Shaq McCroy, that dude he's definitely, I think, the biggest athlete I've been around on the football field since I've been covering the team.
Well, you mentioned depth. What does depth look like on that right side and how this competition is shaken out?
Yeah, it really helps, I think, that Amarion Harris can play both. He's just such a versatile guy that's really useful, if you need to shuffle things around a little bit. And he's a guy they can depend on. He's made a lot of strides, too, putting on a lot more muscle, and he's just physically transformed. I think that Kobe Branham, you have Keyshawn Blackstock over there, and I just think that pretty much right now that right side is up for grabs for whoever's going to take it, and you have some guys there, though, that are pushing. I think that's what you always want, to be honest, is you don't want it to be obvious that, like, okay, if one of these guys goes down, we're just going to be screwed up at this spot. I think they have options there where they'll feel fine if, God forbid somebody goes down early in the year and you have to count on somebody else. I think they have guys they trust. It's really kind of figuring out who's going to work best together and things like that.
Ethan, is the defensive backfield kind of like the wide receiver room? Just a lot of jostling, moving around, trying to find the right pieces?
Yeah, it really is. And I think that you feel pretty good about your two safeties right now being Larry Wirth and Miguel Mitchell. Those are two big safeties that physically stand out for sure. I know Sam Pittman's been really harping on how he likes having big safeties. Those two are returners who everybody knows their name by this point. That I feel pretty good about them being there. But then really at nickel and then the two corners, it's up for grabs too. And it's a pretty loaded, right now room, I say loaded, as in a lot of bodies. I mean, I don't know how these guys will perform on a Saturday in the fall, but right now you have candidates at least, and there's a lot of them. I think that's what really stood out between spring practices to now, is just that they have the bodies and the guys that they can have compete against each other. And a lot of people look at that secondary, and I think that the kind of a natural tendency is whenever you have a lot of turnover in a room to kind of hit the panic button and be like, oh boy, are they going to be able to be any good? There's not any, returning pieces really there. I mean, they have Jaheim Singletary, who's played some corner at Arkansas. And then other than that, I mean, you're having some transfers, and even a JUCO guy, Keyshawn Davia, and Selman Bridges up and coming redshirt freshmen. They're battling for these spots that they haven't been here and gotten those meaningful reps. But I think that's the natural tendency to kind of panic when you kind of have all that freshness. But we're talking about an Arkansas secondary that was last in the SEC last year in opponent passing yards allowed per game. So I think there's sometimes you want it to be fresh and new. You kind of want there to be new faces because obviously last year with what they had, it just didn't work as far as getting the production there. So it's a pretty fresh new room. I think that Connie Walker, the Oklahoma transfer, he's going to push for a spot. Julian Neal, the transfer from Fresno State, he's a big, versatile guy. He could play some nickel, too. They have bodies there. It's just, honestly, who's going to stand out? And, it's different defensively where, you'll see a lot of guys rotate in and out, too. So I think everybody will have a fair chance to kind of solidify who those top guys are. But, I think they have depth on defense. I really do.
It's always interesting to look at the competition, receivers, and secondary on those deep routes. Who seems to be winning those reps so far?
I'm sorry, you cut out for just a split second. Can you repeat the end of that?
So when you see the team and they're running deep routes and you see that competition between receivers and secondary, who's winning those reps right now?
Oh, yeah, man, I wish I could answer this question. We actually haven't been allowed reporters into any real, segments of the practice yet where we're seeing one-on-one receivers, DBs. I know they're doing them, but we're not permitted to be in there for them. But, I mean, there's some guys that just logically I know are probably doing the best. Jalen Brown, the transfer from Florida State, is really fast. And I think that he's one that probably could create that separation. Omega Blake, the Charlotte transfer, he's a guy who I want to say ranked second nationally. Maybe it was a little bit lower. He was up there for yards per catch last year because he can really create that separation and get those big chunk yardage. But, yeah, we just haven't gotten to see really many DB receiver drills. I know they're going on, though. Just kind of one of those pitfalls of the part of practice that we're getting to see right now.
We're talking with Ethan Westerman. He's from the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, WholeHogSports.com. Ethan, defensive line, finding someone that can put pressure on the quarterback. Give me your candidate, someone you like.
Yeah, Quincy Rhodes is, kind of anybody who watches a practice now, I think that's going to be the first guy who, he gets off the bus and that's a dude. He's just a big guy. He's athletic. He's now been in college a few years, been through the strength and conditioning program of an SEC school. He's ready. I genuinely think that he was it's not that he was really having to wait his turn, I guess, behind Landon Jackson. It's like he could have stepped in and helped them. Like, he had some snaps last year. If you think about the Tennessee game, Nico Iamaleava, when he got flushed out of the pocket that last play of the game and ended up, I think, running out of bounds or throwing it in the back of the end zone, whatever he did. It was Quincy Rhodes who applied that pressure. He was on the field for some meaningful snaps last year. He just was kind of in Landon Jackson's shadow, I guess. But I think, it's right there for the taking for him this year. I'm looking at him. Philip Lee, the transfer they got from Troy, he's a pass rusher. I was watching their drills today, actually, and he's just a lean guy. He just looks strong and looks like a guy who can be athletic and create some disruption. And he's had that production at Troy, albeit that's, it's one thing to have production at a school like Troy and then another to replicate it, at Arkansas. But those are kind of the two on the D-line that I look at. There's some other ones like Justice Boone, transfer from Florida, Ken Talley, Michigan State transfer. There's a few in there that, Charlie Collins, in-state kid, who he's got another year of college in him under his belt in the strength and conditioning. There's some guys that could do it too, but I think Quincy right now is just kind of the for sure one I'm looking at.
If there's a schedule in place where they are going to be more open, where you'll have an opportunity to see more of what they're doing?
Yeah, I'm not too hopeful on that. I mean, this is kind of how it goes every year. Is they'll let reporters in to watch kind of maybe the first 5 or 6 stations of practice, and a lot of it is just individual group drills. It's really nice whenever there are kind of some individual, stations, and they put 2 position groups against each other. We gotten to see some of that, like offensive and defensive linemen doing one-on-one blocking, or yesterday there was some pass pro drills that we got to watch with linebackers, running backs, tight ends. There's some stuff like that, but it's just, really the stuff that is a little probably more interesting, to be honest. So I think we're kind of seeing a lot of the vanilla in the part of practice that we're in, where just in today's age of videoing stuff and posting it online, I think they just kind of want us to see the vanilla parts of practice, to be honest. And the real stuff like that kind of happens, I think, after we leave. And I don't know if there's going to be any opportunity to watch a little bit longer. So this is about standard for how it's been the past few years, ever since I've been covering the team. It's just, we don't get to watch all the parts of practice that are probably the most, insightful.
Ethan, you were insightful. We appreciate it. Great job, and we'll get you back on here and talk a little football later on.
Yeah, I'm really happy you asked me to do it. I mean, this isn't to make you feel old, but I'm from Hot Springs. I grew up watching you a little bit, so this is kind of cool to me. And also, I got to give a shout out too, real quick. My little brother, he's a junior high football coach at Bryant. He actually, I guess this is like his station of just in his car that the default, it stays on. And he got in the car and he called me. He said, "Hey, I heard you're going to be on the radio." So I think he's listening to this.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
So,
take care.
Hi, I'm Trey Reed from the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, inviting you to join me every Wednesday morning for the latest news from the great outdoors. It's brought to you by Arts Marine in North Little Rock, now under new ownership, but with the same familiar faces and incredible service you've known for years, plus the area's best selection of boating parts and supplies.
This is SportsCenter.
Over the weekend in Major League Baseball, Boston continued their ascent of the American League East by sweeping the Astros. They're now second in the East with 62 wins, 3 behind the Blue Jays. The Marlins also swept their matchup over the weekend, beating the Yankees in all 3. All-time versus the Yankees, the Marlins are 25-24. That makes them the only team in Major League Baseball to have a winning record against New York. Miami was 16 games below 500 on June 11th. They're now 55-55 on the season. And the Brewers improved on their MLB best record in their sweep of the Nationals, getting their 67th win on the year. They also set a franchise record for most hits over a 3-game span with 56. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
What drives you? Family moments, new adventures, or just the love of the open road? Whatever it is, Gwantey Chevrolet is here to help you get there. For generations, we've been more than a dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small. With a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free, we're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GwanteyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything! The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu!
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
With Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, you can easily find the right home insurance for you, even if it's not with Progressive. But if you don't choose us, then sure, okay, it's not going to work out. We're not going to cry about it or stay awake wondering what our future together would have looked like. We can't get emotionally invested, even if it sounds like we are. Progressive's Home Quote Explorer allows you to easily compare home insurance rates and coverages in one place, even if it's not with us. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. I love you. I shouldn't have said that.
Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center in Benton proudly offers compassionate and loving care to our veterans, meeting the unique needs of every veteran who calls Heartland home. Visit heartlandrehabcenter.com.
With Whataburger's new Bigger Better Bundles, you can upgrade your favorite Whata meal into 2 meals. You can add a Kids Whata meal for $4 and take it home to your little you. Or you can add a Double Meat Junior Whata meal for $5 and save it for later. For you. Or you can add a Whata Wings 9-piece for $6 and just enjoy that now. Yep, with Bigger Better Bundles, you can bring the kids along. Or give it to your Uncle Mo. Or stop by and surprise your coworkers. Upgrade your Whata meal with Bigger Better Bundles for a limited time. Only at What a Burger.
106.7 Buzz 2 is your home for Arkansas Travs baseball. Hear every pitch, every crack of the bat on 106.7 Buzz 2. For the full calendar, go to Travs.com. It's the greatest game on dirt, and you can hear it all on 106.7 Buzz 2.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwantey Chevrolet studio. Out of Bounds with Wes Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz.
Welcome back in. It is Out of Bounds. Let's talk a little high school football, specifically the Sheridan Yellow Jackets. Kevin Kelly, head coach of the Yellow Jackets, joins us now. What's up, Coach? How are you?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm good. It's good talking a little football with you. I miss hanging out every week.
I do too. I'm just glad it's back.
Yeah, it was good to see the Hall of Fame game Thursday night, and got all kinds of games this weekend. It's back. How are y'all doing?
Yeah. Doing great. Ready to get started with what everybody calls fall camp, or whatever, although it's summer camp. But ready to get started. We do ours at night from 7 to 10, so kind of give them a little break from the weather before school starts next week. So we're excited about it, though.
Yeah, what's your theory there, doing it at night, not because it came up last week, and we were talking about the heat and getting teams ready or physically, mentally prepared, toughening up a player by getting out there in the heat. What do you think about that whole theory?
Well, I think, number one, and to me, it's not about the toughness or the mentality or anything like that. It's about keeping them acclimated. We practice in the summer from 12 to 2:30. So we keep them acclimated to the heat. And, it's hot week before last. And when I say practice, we're lifting weights, doors open. We're not out there. You can't practice in the summer, but we're out there doing some stuff and throwing and catching and coming back in and doing the weights and that kind of stuff. And what that does is, I got to be a part of the heat-related illness board on one of the national boards for a while. I learned a lot, but the number one cause for kids to have heat-related illness is that we don't get them acclimated. And acclimated is like when we were growing up, we were playing outside all the time, so we were used to the heat and bugs. But they're not, because there's air conditioners and video games that keep them inside. And I get what coaches are doing. Some are going in the morning, some are going in the evenings, and being too hot and that kind of stuff. But acclimation's number one thing. Well, we've been doing it all summer, so I give them a little break that first week we come back.
What have you learned about your team this summer?
I learned that, we started a lot. At times I think we were starting 13 sophomores on offense and defense last year. So we were young. We knew we were young. And, what I've learned is that year, just by calling, a lot of those sophomores juniors, they do mature physically a little bit, but mentally the maturation, it just means confidence. It means not hesitating. It means trusting themselves more and being there 2 steps faster because they trusted what they saw with their eyes. And we've got to get them to do more and more of that. But it made me really see what the difference was between a sophomore and a junior playing.
Coach, we hear a lot about year 2 and Bobby Petrino's offense. Well, does that work for you in year 2 in your offense? I got to think some of those guys got to feel a lot more comfortable and confident.
Yeah, up until, it's funny. I think Thomas Thrash from Hootens is the one that pointed it out to me a few years ago. Until Lane Hatcher came along, I'd never had a quarterback win a state championship until he was a senior in the second or third year at an offense. And, that was good for me because I took a long, hard look at what was I doing, and it's just a lot. It's just that maturation. It's being quicker and more confident in your reads and things like that. But that goes everywhere. So, I think with Dax, as our quarterback this year, I think he's going to be a whole lot better. I think our receiver's going to be a whole lot better on offense because it's a lot. I think our offensive lineman's going to be a lot better, and at times we were pretty good in all those areas last year. But consistency is what's going to win games, and that being the second year in this offense for our whole offensive group, I think it's going to be nothing but good for them.
And you got SEC type players down in Sheridan. You got guys with offers and commitment. I mean, you got some talent.
Yeah. Got an offer from Arkansas, our left tackle. And then, of course, everybody knows about Isaiah Stevens, and Ole Miss gave them an offer, and that's about as good as you can get, I think, in this country, because they can really have a chance to get anybody there. And then, he's got an offer from North Carolina that Bill Belichick thinks good enough for him, then that tells me a lot. And really, I think we've got some guys that can play, but as far as the size and the talent, I think everybody's missing out on Ethan Cowden. I think he may be, our best lineman right now. So, we do. We've got a lot of talent and a lot of guys surrounding those guys that can play. And I think our culture is getting to be where I want it to be more. So, when you've got a few guys and you build it around them and the other guys are selfless like our guys are, I think you got a chance to have a special year, and I think we do.
All right, we know you're going to score points. What's your defense look like?
We had a coach that, a D coordinator, I've been proud to talk about him. He's the guy that gave me the hardest time whenever I was at PA. He was at McClellan. Did a great job, always kept me off balance. Last year, he had a good coach over him, but a coach that liked to, think more about the defensive side of the ball. And all head coaches get involved everywhere a little bit. But, I think last year was the first year in his thought process, like completely his for our defense. And this year, the guys understand him more. They know what he wants out of them more. We've got some guys that are a little older. Like I talked about, we started a lot of young guys last year. And I think they're going to be a lot better on the defensive side of the ball, too. So if we're better on both sides of the ball, we think we've got a chance to do something really good. I told our kids we got one goal this year, and that's what we're shooting for.
And that goal is?
A state championship.
Kevin Kelly with us.
I know.
Sheridan.
I know you're giggling.
No, I'm
Everybody's
not.
Giggling.
You bet.
And it's fine.
It
Wes,
needs to be.
I've known you for a long time. It's fine.
It needs to be the goal.
It does need to be the goal.
I like your
and it doesn't mean the year's a failure by any stretch if we don't. What that does mean though is we need these kids to understand that if you work hard, do things right, off the field, on the field, know your job, and learn what competition is, learn how to compete in all moments, that you've got a chance to win all your games. And it parallels life so much too. Set your goals high.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get darn close, usually it's a pretty good ending.
Shoot for the stars and settle for the moon. Isn't that the saying?
I think we want to shoot for the stars and reach them, if that's what we're shooting for. But I do get the same.
How about the non-conference? You start with Whitehall, then you got Lakeside, which I'm impressed with, and Rogers, which don't they return everybody?
Yeah. So Whitehall's always a rivalry game. I think last year we won it, but I think Whitehall had won the previous 5. And Coach Patton's second year there too. So the guys are going to be, his guys are going to be more used to him and what he wants. His coaches are too. So I think that's beneficial for them. So it's going to be a tough one. Lakeside was really good last year, and they do a great job over there. We got to see that up close and personal. So, and I like the hard non-conference. I think it's going to get us ready for postseason play. And then Rogers finished in the semifinals last year of 7A and got everybody back. And to me, he must have. I mean, he's for sure one of the best players in the state. Tight end / D end, and he played both sides of the ball, played receiver, split out, and I think he's got over 30 FBS offers. And so he's, I think, one of the best players in the state, and they got a good coaching staff. Coach Harbison's done a good job up there. So we've got to work cut out for us for sure, but we wouldn't want it any other way in the non-conference. I mean, you want guys that are going to challenge you and show you where you are before you get into conference play.
Well, luckily, your conference schedule, you don't have as much travel as you could. I mean, since you don't have to go to Marion or El Dorado, you just have to go to West Memphis. So that's on the positive side this year.
Yeah, and, I don't think people understand how hard it is to get in a bus and run 1.5 or 3 hours on a Friday after school and then get off and play a football game against the speed and the athleticism of some of the teams that we had to do it against last year. So last year was tough at times, and then going up to Mountain Home in the playoffs, that's a tough ride. I feel sorry for the Mountain Home kids. Great place to live, but then I feel sorry for those kids having to drive down that hill on Tuesday nights for basketball games. But no, it's nicer to have some of the farther road games home this year, and getting Jonesboro here and Marion here. That'll be a little bit of a blessing, and with a team that's a year older, I think that gives us even more of an advantage than we had last year at really having a good season.
Who did you vote as the team to beat in the East?
Oh, Benton. Benton. Last year we had 3 teams that were undefeated. They hadn't had to play each other. I think by the time week 6 or 7 it got here, Marion and Catholic and Benton, and then finally they started playing each other, and Benton rolled everybody up. They're really good. Coach Harris has done a very nice job there. They've got everything you want as far as facilities, coaching staff, camaraderie, and they've laid the groundwork for a great program. And so I think until somebody beats them, and I don't always think this way, but until somebody beats them, I think that they've got a leg up on that because everybody plays them. They're like, we got to play them. So they've got that middle part over everybody as well.
Your thoughts on Jerry Jones, Micah Parsons? What's going on?
Quite honestly, it's hard. Being a Cowboys fan since I'm 3 years old, Jerry Jones and I've had my troubles with Jerry Jones personally, but he's like the worst owner in the history of mankind. And I say that he's a genius in some ways. Back when there was the loophole, you could get your own sponsors for Nike and Pepsi on the side of your stadium and bring in extra revenue to help you pay guys. That's genius, but in the way he's been dealing with players, we did a thing the other day. I deep dived on the Cowboys, and the way they handled Dak Prescott and the way they handled CeeDee Lamb, instead of being first or second on the offering table, they cost themselves about $7 to $8 million a year. And I saw that, and I read that somewhere. And now, look, they could have signed Micah first and got him for $31 or $32 million. And now you're looking at T.J. Watt making $41 million. You've cost yourself, $7 million a year for 4 years for Dak and CD. They're doing the same thing with him. Well, you look up, and that's $30 and $40 million on the table. That's $100 million you could have used to shore up other places. And especially when a guy like Micah Parsons says, "I'll take less money." I mean, who says that?
Yeah.
And he says, "I'll take less money." And now you come out and you're trying to save face if Jerry Jones, and you're going. And I don't know the side of it, so it's easy for me to complain about it. But from the outside looking in, now you're trying to do damage control, tell the Cowboy fans not to lose sleep over it. You can call it negotiation tactics or whatever. Micah Parsons said he wanted to always be a Cowboy, and now he's given us no reason to think he's doing anything but telling the truth when he says he doesn't want to be there anymore. And let's be honest, that's your best player. Your best player you could have signed for $10 million a year less, and you didn't get it done. And I don't have any idea reason why. Maybe it's because they don't feel confident that they need to set the market as Cowboys because they don't know what that is. But man, it just looks a lot easier to have avoided this, especially after if you learn anything from Dak and CD and their contract negotiations.
Just get it done. I mean, to read his tweet and admit that he was willing to leave money on the table, it just made me mad. I was just like, that's just irresponsible.
I mean, the best player, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think he for sure is, and especially on the defensive side of the ball. We differ on Dak. I think Dak's good. I think if you surround him and don't put all the pressure on him, he's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not, Josh Allen. He's not those guys. But I think he's one of the quarterbacks in the league that's surrounded by the right people, good play call, and he could win a Super Bowl. And so now, is he the best? No, but you've got that side of the ball in CeeDee Lamb. I don't think running backs are as important as everybody says. Build your O-line, get your Micah Parsons in there, and get it done. Because, on ESPN, they were talking to a former Cowboy, and he said, they don't understand what this does to the locker room, too. This will cause them 8 to 9 weeks to repair what's going on in that locker room because whether we like it or not, people are taking sides on Micah Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
The guys that aren't making much money are saying, just sign for $32 million, Micah. That's plenty. That's $30 million more than I'm making, And other guys are like, no, go get your money in this league where you might, end your career tomorrow. So it causes division in the locker room, and I just hope Jerry starts thinking about the big picture of everything and figures out a way to get this done quickly before it causes more damage than we can withstand for this year.
Coach, another player around the league that's unhappy is James Cook, running back, Bills. Would you trade one unhappy player for another when you need help in another area, like Cowboys need some help at running back there, and you're talking about less money dedicated to a running back position?
The only thing worse than a defensive player complaining about what they're making or not being happy with what they're making is a running back complaining about being not happy about what he's making. It's been shown in the analytics world that running backs just aren't worth as much. Some are worth more, obviously, than others. But James Cook isn't going to solve our problems. Micah Parsons really helped solve a lot of our problems. So I would not change an unhappy player for an unhappy player. The funny thing is they could have ran Josh Allen in like they do Jalen Hurts, and James Cook wouldn't have an argument. But last year he scored like 17 touchdowns. And so by the numbers over the years for running backs, the fact that they handed him the ball on the goal line when they could have ran it with Josh Allen has enabled a little bit of that. And James Cook's a great player, don't get me wrong. But he doesn't carry any of the value for a team that a Micah Parsons does.
Coach, we appreciate it. I know you got to go. It was fun talking football with you. Good hanging out.
I want the public to know I was giving you a hard time, Wes, about laughing when I said state championship. But Wes would never do that.
No,
Wes is awesome, loves high school football, and I know you weren't. I didn't want you to think I was. I was just giving you a hard time. But I know you're pulling for all the kids, and you want to see them at their best. And we appreciate you covering high school football because it's a tough sport. And thank you so much.
You bet, Coach. Hey, and Dak's going to have a huge year this year with those weapons. I mean, huge.
I think he is too. Especially if our tight ends come to play this year.
Well, they got the tight end re-signed, not Micah, but they got the deal done with Jake Ferguson.
Yeah, which is big because if you got Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, that really ought to open up that middle and underneath for him.
Take care. See you, Coach.
All right. Thank y'all. Bye-bye.
Kevin Kelly, head coach of Sheridan Yellow Jackets. We've got to take a break. We'll finish up the second hour when we come back. Hit me up on the D3 Auto Sales text line, or you can give us a call during the break. It's Out of Bounds.
Are you tired of that old, outdated bathtub but not sure who to call? Use a contractor you can trust. Bath Makeover of Arkansas offers a 5-year workmanship warranty, a lifetime product warranty, and a dedicated 800 number just for warranty claims. And every estimate comes with a price lock guarantee. We are your trusted local source for high-quality, American-made baths and showers installed in as little as 1 day, featuring our revolutionary new laser-etched shower wall systems. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH during our 60-60-60 sale. Receive 60% off installation of a new bath or shower with 60-month financing options, senior and military discounts, plus receive a $60 Visa gift card with purchase. And call 1-800-NEW-BATH now for a bonus, a free $25 Starbucks gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH. That's 1-800-NEWBATH.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon, you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell, and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Open the lid on a carton of Bluebell Homemade in the Shade, and you'll have it made, so to speak. It's a combination of our top-selling homemade vanilla ice cream with a swirl of rich chocolate fudge sauce. Enjoy an instant classic.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at all Family Market grocery stores and Drug Emporium in Little Rock.
Hi, it's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. Folks, if you're shopping for a new car or truck, I hope you'll come see us and give us a chance to earn your business. We have huge discounts. 0% financing available, and we'll give you $1,000 over Kelly Blue Book value for your trade-in. Folks, I guarantee you a hassle-free buying experience. And if you've had credit problems in the past, listen to this. We have an easy pre-approval process. Just go to FletcherCredit.com to get started. You can be pre-approved in minutes. It's really not hard. FletcherCredit.com. Folks, we're also still buying cars every day. If you got an old car or truck you want to turn into cash, bring it to Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood and ask for Chris or Andy. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Shop in person or shop online at FletcherDeals.com. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Lowry Barnes. When it comes to orthopedic care, there's no place like the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. We built this hospital just for you. With state-of-the-art surgical suites, advanced technology, and the state's largest group of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons. It's the best place in Arkansas to get you moving again. And if you need urgent orthopedic care, UAMS Ortho Now is right here for you at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, where motion lives and service leads.
In Arkansas, cancers of the lung, breast, prostate, and colon are the leading cause of cancer deaths. Yet simple screenings can save lives, helping doctors find and treat cancer early. If you have a family history of cancer, you need to start screenings even earlier, because cancer screenings can never come too soon, only too late. To learn more, visit cancer.uams.edu. Sponsored by this station, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, and UAMS.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwantey Chevrolet studio. Gwantey Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
I know I can't afford to stop for one moment, that it's too soon, too far.
Push the off of the porch or break up down. Get this if it happen to blow, it makes a round sounds. Piece of cat on my lap, push it back and go to town down. Putting rap on my back and I'm black and snatching crowns. How they came back around like I said they selling points. I got a bag now, but it's nothing to brag about. Blast in the background, I'm a black man with a bloodhound.
It's a great time to get to Twin Peaks for happy hour 2 to 7, where you can check out their daily and weekly food and drink specials. App starting at $2, lunch combos $7.99. And make Twin Peaks your place for your fantasy football draft parties now until the season starts. And you get a draft kit that's loaded with everything you need, a $50 kickback card for commissioner, $5 kickback cards for every league guest. And once again, you can look into those great food and drink options on the menu. Plenty of NFL preseason games coming up. Twin Peaks is the best place to watch those. Starting Thursday and going throughout the weekend, have plenty of preseason NFL football. There's WNBA this week, MLB, and plenty of soccer to go around also for the soccer fans out there. And then there's combat sports, boxing, MMA, no cover charge for UFC events at Twin Peaks. It's Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Weekend Recap, brought to you by Fleet Management Services, serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years. They're your small to mid-size specialist. When you need someone to service your fleet and get your employees back on the road quick, call 501-375-3672.
All right, welcome back to Out of Bounds. I'm Wes Moore, Joe Franklin. We'll take some phone calls, got some stuff to hit on the D3 Auto Sales text line, and we'll wrap up our second hour. Let's start with Uncle Gary in Quitman. What's up, Uncle Gary?
Hey, I called you a couple of weeks ago when we, our AAU team, TTG, won that Run for the Roses.
That's
and
right,
you played a little bit of the video.
Yeah.
Yes. And I told you we were going to Oklahoma City for our last tournament, the maybe Nationals. And we just wrapped that up yesterday. I wanted to get back with you on that. Our girls went out there and took care of business, winning that tournament. So, very TTG girls, and their season ended with a 41-1 record.
Wow.
So,
big time.
Big shout out to them. Yes, it was awesome. And I think the highlight of the weekend, other than winning the tournament, was Coach Pauline Love, associate head coach of the OU women's basketball team. She gave us a tour through their facility, and that was awesome. Great for the girls to get to see. But good things happening in Arkansas, and I just wanted to get back with you on that and let you know we wrapped up the season winning that tournament.
Where do these girls go to school?
Okay, so I know after I talked to you a couple of weeks ago, I called Drive Time, and Randy was saying he thought most of these girls are probably right there from the Little Rock area. Most of them are. We got one from Bryant. We got one from Maumelle, a couple from PA. We have one from Texas that has Arkansas ties in the Little Rock area, but then we have one from Quitman, and then we have one from Mountain View. So they have a lot of talent, and man, they're so fun to watch. I don't know, I live stream all their games, and if you ever get a chance, hopefully next summer, you can follow us and see some of that. But Pulaski Academy, they, like I said, they have a couple of girls on our team, and they're fun to watch though.
That's
great
awesome.
Coaches, like I said, Marlo Rockwell, Deshaun McClure. They're the masterminds behind this team, and they do very good with these girls.
Well, congratulations. Way to go, girls. Heck, 41-1. That's an amazing summer right there. Thanks for the update.
Yes, sir. Hey, appreciate you.
You bet. Uncle Gary. That's cool. We got a lot of talent in the state, girls basketball and boys basketball. See here, Jake says the Hogs have Shaq and Kobe on the O-line. That's a good sign, right? Yeah. I didn't think about it until Ethan said it that way. That could have a Shaq and Kobe next to each other on the offensive line. 501 says Parsons and Lamb should have been signed as quick as possible. Dak is the one who should have had to wait it out.
And Dak was willing to wait it out, is the thing about it.
Do you mean Jerry Jones is still alive? I thought he died when he fired Jimmy Johnson. My bad. That's Ron. Wes, I'm afraid RD opened up the floodgates. If you were listening to his segment, that should honestly make you mad if you're a fan and have spent money going to games and learned that. Do you think Arkansas has the ability to catch back up in recruiting and try to make it a level field? Yeah, just allocating those dollars to help with the recruiting staff. Sounds like to me they need to really double the staff. They have 5, and almost every SEC team had at least 10 or more. I think there was one that had 8 and one that had 9. I mean, and Richard said it best. It's like trying to fight somebody with one hand tied behind your back. And then, there's the recruiting budget itself has to be increased.
And not that you have to necessarily copy what other schools are doing, but you want to be on a certain level to compete, at least.
Well, I go back to my point. Look, if you know you're not going to win the NIL battle and be able to outbid teams for some of these guys, some of these great players, then you got to go find some diamonds in the rough. You got to go find some, and that takes research. That takes a lot of people looking at film and finding this guy and go, look, oh my gosh, we found somebody. Let's go get him. Let's go recruit this guy. Let's get on him. But you don't even have the staff for that. So.
And what it does is it overloads other coaches that are having to do those jobs.
That are trying to coach. I know that's part of it, and all the coaches are recruiting too, but it sure would be nice to have a larger staff to help that coach. Yeah, and I never thought about the point, like on Saturdays, we see them there, and when they'll have 25, 30 guys there on either official or non-official visits. Well, you want to be able to spend time with them while they're there and their family, not only at the game and before the game or after, but during the whole weekend. And if your staff is that small and you don't have enough people, then they feel neglected. You want to roll out the red carpet and show them a great time and have somebody with them all as much as possible. But if you don't have the resources for that, that's not a good look.
They probably have students with them. That's what it is.
Oh, I'm sure it is, yeah. But then they go on another recruiting trip.
You would rather have
and see how another school's doing it.
You would rather have both. You have student guides and you have some of the coaches that are right there with them.
Earl says, Wes, I thought about it, Mark's horse, and forgot to put money on it. Well, Earl, you didn't lose out on anything. It was the favorite, and she finished second, and so unless you just had a big place bet on it, you could have won some money that way. But it didn't pay a lot, so you didn't miss much. 870 says Eagles scored 40 and could have scored more. Their defense was great, but offense won the game. Okay. When I played in the 70s, we had 2 coaches. Yes. Times have changed.
A lot.
Times have changed. And now that money under the table is on top of the table, and it's legal. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think back when I played in the 80s. I think we had 5 coaches, 5 high school coaches. But then they also coached
other sports.
Yeah, other sports and like JV, freshman, 8th grade, 7th grade.
That's how it was done then. But it's still some of that going on now.
But this is college stuff. This is SEC football we're talking about.
But at that time, just for an example, a basketball coach, the head basketball coach, may have been an assistant football coach.
No doubt. Stick around. Hour number 3 is coming up next.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter agents Richard Yeager, Steve Ferguson, or Jason Daly in Little Rock today.
What drives you? Family moments, new adventures, or just the love of the open road? Whatever it is, Gwantey Chevrolet is here to help you get there. For generations, we've been more than a dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small. With a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free, we're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GwanteyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Join Randy Rainwater and Drive Time Sports at Double B's at Cantrell Riverfront Drive today. Stop in and register to win the Bad Boy Bandit 550 side-by-side purchased from Bad Boy Superstore in Searcy to be given away October the 8th. Drive Time Sports at Double B's today starting at 4 on 103.7 The Buzz.
Burns Park played host to a civil disturbance training session over the weekend. More than 230 Arkansas National Guardsmen and police officers were involved. They learned more about how to de-escalate tense public situations like a protest, how to use gas masks, protect infrastructure, and deploy tear gas and other non-lethal control systems. Some officers dressed like civilians to act as the aggressors for this training. The superintendent at Quitman Public Schools is now on probation for 2 years for violating district policy during an investigation into bullying inside the school locker room. KRK first uncovered the bullying allegations in November of last year. 2 mothers claim staff did not do enough to handle the accusations of abuse and sexual harassment. The State Board of Education came together Friday for its monthly meeting. Members say Superintendent Michael Stacks violated district policy by allowing the alleged bullies to stay on the football team despite being placed on court-ordered probation. I'm Sincere Tonsil from KRK4 Today for the Buzz Radio Network.
Get in the conversation with live fan feedback at 1037thebuzz.com. Presented on Out of Bounds by Gwantey Chevrolet in Jacksonville.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center.
Well, after a pleasant first weekend of August, we've got temperatures warming up on this Monday with highs back into the lower 90s and mostly sunny conditions. Temperatures drop into the lower 70s overnight with mostly clear conditions. We're going to see hot temperatures heading into your Tuesday with highs in the mid to lower 90s. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Christopher Pipkin.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
This is Trey Schapp. Tune in each Friday morning at 5:30 right here on The Buzz as I bring you From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. If you like to hear interesting stories about the game of golf, this is for you. You can also find it wherever you get your podcasts.
March is gone. The brackets are done. Feels like we need some excitement.
Are you kidding? Do you realize how much is going on? Basketball, hockey, baseball, golf. It's like 8 seasons in one. It's the season of action.
And we can bet on all those with the Oaklawn Sports app.
That's the spirit. Now let's go lock in some bets.
Receive a 10% profit boost on qualifying 3-leg parlays. Bet all summer long. Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Injured? There's only one number you need to know. 888-8888.
At Rainwater Holton Sexton, no case is too big and no insurance company too strong.
Just dial 888-8888.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
Welcome to Moe's. Everywhere you look, prices are going up, but not at Moe's Southwest Grill. Here, the best deal in burritos just got better. We lowered the prices on our Mo Monday special. The burritos and bowls you love are now starting at $6.99. Hot and delicious, made your way with high-quality ingredients. We never cut corners. Guess that's why our bowls are round. Come see us this Monday. And here's my daughter, Andy Kate, with a reminder.
Remember, kids eat free on Sundays. Welcome to Moe's.
ABC Supply presents Shannon Lynn, our favorite musicologist, when he joins Morning Mayhem. ABC Supply in North Little Rock, let's get your job done together. For location and product information, find them online at abcsupply.com.
Hey folks, this is David Basil for Simmons Bank. What started as a hometown bank in Pine Bluff more than 120 years ago, Simmons Bank has expanded their footprint to more than 200 locations across the Mid-South. Simmons Bank offers comprehensive financial solutions delivered with a client-central approach. Last year, Simmons Bank was recognized by U.S. News & World Report as one of the best companies to work for in the South, and in 2023 by Forbes as one of the world's best banks. The Simmons Bank Championship presented by Stevens was named the best tournament on the PGA Tour Champions by the golfers themselves. It's very rare that a first-year tournament wins an award from the players like the Simmons Bank Championship did. George Macris and his strong team at Simmons Bank can help you grow. Give them a shot and tell them Baz sent you. You can find all of their locations on the web at SimmonsBank.com. With more than $27 billion in total assets, Simmons Bank continues to grow. Join me and many others and make Simmons Bank your bank. SimmonsBank.com or check out a branch near you. One of the best banks in America located right here in Arkansas.
Want to get in on the conversation? Shoot us a text at the D3 Auto Sales text line at 501-614-1037. D3 Auto Sales in Desart, the #1 independent dealer in the state with the best prices and largest selection on pre-owned vehicles, including leveled and lifted trucks. Find them on Facebook. Whether it's football, baseball, or basketball, from high school to the pros, hit us up on the D3 Auto Sales text line.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Live from the Gwantey Chevrolet Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Tell them be humble. Sit down. 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 Be humble.
All right, welcome back. Our third hour. Sorry about that. Got caught talking during the break. Talking a little sports during the break. That's what we do. Just talk sports. Just keep it going.
What's Trending in Sports is brought to you by Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee, the Razorbacks, and their 1.5 million farmers around the globe. It's fall, so now it's time for your team to stock up on coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
All right, I love Hall of Fame weekend because I get to listen to some of these speeches and watch them. Very inspiring at times. Here's Antonio Gates.
I'm still wrapping my head around it all. To be perfectly honest with you, you're talking, I just went to school 30 minutes up the street. Always knew Canton, Ohio existed. Never in a million years thought I would be here, because I play basketball. And I think to see you here and get to see the guys, and it's like football heaven. And I think for me, it's just that obviously it's an unbelievable achievement in the game of football, but it speaks so many volumes about my life in itself and how many dots you have to connect for this to happen. Football is just a catalyst of something like this, but so many things have to go right. So many the right people have to pour into you, and then you have to still have luck through it all. So it's just an unbelievable experience because of my journey, particularly how I traveled to get here, one of one. Nobody else has this uniqueness about getting here because most of these guys played college football. They dreamed of being in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. They wanted to go to the NFL. I'm literally the only one that never wanted to go to the NFL, never wanted to be a Pro Football Hall of Famer, and here I am as a Pro Football Hall of Famer.
What a ride for Antonio Gates. Let's go to Jared Allen. Here's the formula that got him to the Hall of Fame.
My why can be summed up with three things: fear, respect, and the pursuit of greatness. And when I talk about fear, I'm not talking about that type of fear that cripples you and makes you avoid something. I'm talking about that healthy fear of failure, that fear that motivates you to do whatever you can to succeed, that type of fear that lets you get knocked down and then realize you don't want to get knocked down again. So you pick yourself up, you learn, and you improve. And respect. I've only played this game for two reasons: the respect of my peers and the respect of those who came before me. I will never forget the day I got an email from Jack Youngblood telling me that he thought I played the game the right way. That to me is worth more than any All-Pro I've ever gotten. And the pursuit of greatness. When you respect something or someone so much that you want to honor that thing or that person by being the best you can possibly be. That is why I had the NFL sack leaders taped up in my locker every season, so I could show up to work and physically see greatness and never allow myself to feel like I arrived.
Got another clip from Jared Allen and talking about his family.
And to my wife. I'm reminded of what Tom Lamphere said when we were going through our premarital counseling. He said the two most important decisions you'll make in life is, one, whether you follow Jesus or not, and two is who you marry. Because there's only two types of people. There's boat anchors who drag you down, and there's people who elevate you. And you are a true game elevator. You're one of the smartest people I know. I am in awe of you every single day, and I love you more than life itself. To my amazing daughters, Brindley and Lakeland. Through this process, the word legacy has been talked about a lot. The Hall often says they're here to tell my story. Well, I'm here to tell you two, you are my greatest accomplishments. When I get called home to heaven one day, if all they talk about is this gold jacket, my career, then I failed miserably as a father, a husband, and a friend. You two are my legacy. You are both so talented, and I cannot wait to see what you decide to do and to conquer this world. So always put Christ first, find your why, dream big dreams, and always pursue greatness in whatever you do. Thank you all, and may God bless you all.
Let's go to Sterling Sharp now.
Because, see, when I tell you that you have to learn to follow before you can lead. And the only reason I'm standing here, the only reason I told you all those stories, everything I did athletically, everything I did for an audience of one. I didn't care what was written, said, thought, talked about, prayed about. Everything I did was for an audience of one. You see, when you grow up in rural South Georgia, it's hard to find heroes, and I didn't want this person to look outside our own dinner table to find a role model. Well, since I only got about 2.5 minutes left, I'm gonna do this thing the right way. As one half of the first brothers selected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, you got to come up here and stand next to me, my man. You got to do it.
That's an awesome moment.
Yeah, it was great to see the speeches, but also see kind of the background and what led up to it. So the Friday event, what they do is they have someone that puts the jacket on the incoming Hall of Famers, and it used to be whoever they would choose. As far as most of the time, it was going to be a family member, maybe one of the parents, a brother, sister, one of the kids, or wife. And now they have a Hall of Famer put the jacket on you, so it's still somebody that you choose. And then it could be your presenter, or it could be somebody different. And with Jared Allen, he had Dick Vermeil, which a lot of times, they're going to have some kind of connection there. And so it's cool to see that if there's somebody in the Hall of Fame already that you have a connection with, then you choose them to put the jacket on you. Or it could be just somebody who's a Hall of Famer that's a close friend. So that's Friday night, but then it goes back to when these guys actually got the call and they were notified that they're getting in. And then they've changed that also, because they used to be in a hotel and they would get a knock at the door. They would know that, when they open the door that they're getting in, or they get a phone call. You get the phone call, that means you didn't get in. And so now what they've done is they'll either go to the player's house or they'll set up something, and then the players walk in and they're surprised. So with Sterling Sharp, Shannon Sharp, his brother, asked him to come over and said, they're just come over to the house, let's hang out. So he gets greeted at the door and he's like, where's baby bro? He's downstairs in the basement. Yeah, he's downstairs. So he walks downstairs and he sees a couple of people standing around, and he sees Shannon with his jacket on. And he says, man, what do you guys have going on here? And Shannon is like, welcome. And he's like, welcome, what, to your house? And he's like, no, welcome to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So he was just surprised because he walks in and, people are there and they're sharing the moment. And then with Antonio Gates, his agent told him that he was going to do an autograph signing. So he's thinking he's going somewhere to do a signing, get some extra money coming in. And they open the door, and LaDainian Tomlinson is standing there with his jacket on. And right then, Antonio Gates realized what was happening. And then with Jared Allen, Eric Allen, they simply showed up at their houses, knocked on the door. And when they got the knock at the door and they saw a Hall of Famer coming to the door with a jacket on, they knew what was happening.
That's cool. Yeah, they do it right. It's a fun weekend. All right, let's go to the NFL. Here's Bo Nix.
I want to be just efficient. We, got to have a good huddle. It starts with the operation. I want to just go out there and execute and leave it up to just us and our talent to make plays and not beat ourselves and not, shoot ourselves in the foot. Really go out there and give ourselves a chance against all these defenses that we're going to play. We're going to get challenged. We're going to get challenged, early in the season, throughout the season, and we're excited. We're excited to grow as a team, grow as an offense, and see where we can go. But we definitely have the guys, got the guys in the huddle, and that's the important thing.
We'll go to Carolina. Bryce Young, his second season in this offense.
I feel a lot more comfortable. I think that's another thing as well that you mentioned is, what the coaches want, what they're looking for, how they feel like the offense should be ran and things should be executed. And, when they call certain things, what are they looking for? And I feel a lot more well-equipped with that stuff. It's a it's not just X's and O's. It's a relational thing, the sport of football. So understanding, what coaches are looking for, what they mean, what they want to see, being able to have an opportunity a year in now with the same staff, I'm super grateful for that.
Big year for Bryce Young.
It is. It is a big year. Your third year as a starting quarterback, they become magnified even more now because, especially in that third year, they expect you to get it. And if they feel like you don't get it, now they're trying to turn the page and bring somebody else in.
All right, we'll finish up the NFL talk with Jerry Jones and the Micah Parsons situation.
As always, in any relationships, there are different moods at different times of your relationship. That's what it is. Don't lose any sleep over it.
So just to be
That's the
clear,
one thing I would say to our fans. Don't lose any sleep over it.
Jerry, are you considering trading Mike?
Wait a minute, I can't hear anything. I really can't.
Really?
Really can't.
I'll do it again. Jerry, are you considering trading Micah Parsons?
Well, let's put it like this. Surely you guys have been around this stuff and know to recognize negotiation talk, that type of thing, and so that's where I put that.
So are you considering it?
I'm not. The facts are that that's like anything else. I think the world of Micah, and that's just a part of negotiation.
Would you ever consider trading Micah?
Again, I don't really place that with any real seriousness. Micah's got a bad back. That's like being traded.
Is this fun for you?
What?
This whole ordeal?
Well, I've chosen to do this for my life, and this is important to me, and to spend the time that I spend doing it, and all of that is important. But it's important to me to get the job done in a way that fits what we need to do as a team. And so, if everybody had the ability to take an existing contract and just say, I disregard it, this league would be chaos.
Jerry had to stop himself there because he almost said, when he's asked would he consider trading him, he almost said not at this time. But he stopped himself and changed and went kind of in a different direction there. Because if he had said that, it would have exploded everywhere. Everyone would have said, well, he's thinking about it. If he said not at this time, he didn't just close it down and say no. He said not at this time.
Oh, Jerry. By the way, I just got an email from Netflix. It reminded me, tomorrow's a big day. SEC football, any given Saturday, comes out tomorrow.
Nice.
Yes.
I want to say Hard Knocks comes out tomorrow also.
Oh, really?
Because it always comes out on a Tuesday.
That'd be cool. We need that August viewing. Go to JK. What's up, JK?
Hey, guys.
Hey, JK.
I think that. Are you there?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, go ahead.
I think that David Basil is so fucking. Excuse my language, but that guy deserves more awards because he's put this event together for so many years. And I tell you what, man, I am so impressed with Mr. Baz, but I'm just kind of wondering, is there anybody else at the Baz that helps Baz put on this event? And I'll hang up and listen.
Okay, JK. Baz will be on in our next segment. No, he does. He talked about it. I watched the ceremony today and the unveiling. He's talking about the Little Rock Touchdown Club and talked about all the people that help him. Even though he's front and center, he's got a lot of people assisting make this possible. And I'm sure David will talk about it again when we have him on in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of planning goes into it. A lot of planning to begin with, and then now everything has to fall in place to present a lineup like this.
It's a great lineup. We'll talk about that in a minute. Brad's in Searcy. Was in Searcy. He's gone. I just had that out for David to talk about that lineup. I'm excited about Jimmy Johnson. I mean, Cowboys fans, who's not excited about Jimmy Johnson? I mean, to me, that's the the marquee name. And it's a great list. Tim Brown, got to interview him last time he was here. That was awesome.
D-Mac making a return.
Mm-hmm. He will be fun. Here it is. Okay. Tickets. Oh, yeah, and he announced that too. You can already get tickets for the first two, Sam Pittman and Jimmy Johnson. They went online at 1:15 today. They're doing that. Jimmy Johnson at the State House, the Wally Allen Ballroom. That's going to be huge. You go Pittman to Jimmy Johnson, your first two? Pretty darn good, David. That'll work. Where's the other email? There it is. Oh, that's the tickets for Sam Pittman. Also underway right now. Okay. Two separate emails.
Yeah, Anthony Lucas, Madre Hill, that'll be exciting. Prior to the LSU game.
Mm-hmm.
That week.
All right. So it goes Pittman, Jimmy, LT. I forgot about Lawrence Taylor. I'm excited to hear him.
Mm-hmm. Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm. Tim Brown, Craig James. Craig James grew up in Alto, Texas. And that's probably 20 minutes from my hometown. And we had mutual family friends and kind of knew the family.
Nice.
So I was a Craig James fan growing up.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was so cool when he went to SMU and how well they were doing. So Butch Jones, Nathan Brown, Kelly Finglass, the Dallas Cowboys head of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Holly Rowe, awesome. Justin and I did the Downtown Tip-Off Club for basketball, and she came in and spoke, and she was a great guest. Greg Sankey to get the commissioner in, big time. Mentioned Madre and Anthony Lucas, Mac Brown, Mark May, another fantastic lineup. David Basil. We'll get him on here when we come back. We got some more clips, basketball, baseball. We'll play those for you. We'll take some more phone calls. Got a good 30 more minutes to go. Finishing it strong. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Edwards Food Giant presents Razorback Baseball color analyst and Drive Time Sports co-host Rick Schaefer every Tuesday morning on Morning Mayhem. Rick will share his special take on Razorback sports with the guys each week. Edwards Food Giant, the meat people, the only stop you'll ever have to make for your family's groceries.
This is Sports Center.
Over the weekend in Major League Baseball, Boston continued their ascent of the American League East by sweeping the Astros. They're now second in the East with 62 wins, 3 behind the Blue Jays. The Marlins also swept their matchup over the weekend, beating the Yankees in all three. All time versus the Yankees, the Marlins are 25-24. That makes them the only team in Major League Baseball to have a winning record against New York. Miami was 16 games below 500 on June 11th. They're now 55-55 on the season. And the Brewers improved on their MLB best record in their sweep of the Nationals, getting their 67th win on the year. They also set a franchise record for most hits over a 3-game span with 56. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
What drives you? Family moments, new adventures, or just the love of the open road? Whatever it is, Gwantey Chevrolet is here to help you get there. For generations, we've been more than a dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small. With a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free, we're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GwanteyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Make your yard the envy of the neighborhood with Cabot Outdoors. Right now, when you purchase a Hustler Fast Track Series mower, receive your choice of a free pressure washer or generator, an unbeatable bonus of up to $7.99. For the month of August, to get an extra $500 off. Supplies are limited. Offer ends August 31st. The Hustler Fast Track delivers precision, comfort, and durability for homeowners who demand more. Cabot Outdoors, 901 South Pine Street in Cabot. Find them on Facebook.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. Valerie is an 8-pound dachshund who was rescued 529 days after going missing on the rugged Kangaroo Island off the coast of Australia. She seemed to manage the ordeal well, being fit and healthy. She'd even gained 4 pounds. Valerie was happy to be back with her family on the Australian mainland, and you just know that a movie about her exploits is going to be made, perhaps called The Dachshund Gang, along the lines of the Doberman Gang, where those mutts right wrongs, rescue little old ladies, and solve mysteries. If those mutts could talk, they'd tell us to get thee to Doublebee's for a refreshing drink, a snacky treat, or something a little heartier. Doublebee's is an Arkansas business for Arkansans, and we'll make exceptions for Australian dogs too, because Doublebee's is where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebee's.
In Arkansas, cancers of the lung, breast, prostate, and colon are the leading cause of cancer deaths. Yet simple screenings can save lives, helping doctors find and treat cancer early. If you have a family history of cancer, you need to start screenings even earlier, because cancer screenings can never come too soon, only too late. To learn more, visit cancer.uams.edu. Sponsored by this station, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, and UAMS.
The Arkansas Poultry Federation presents Wingstock 2025, Saturday, August 16th from noon to 2 at Simmons Bank Arena. Indulge in all-you-can-eat chicken wings featured by local restaurants and vendors dishing up their best wing to compete for the People's Choice Award and the coveted Golden Wing Award. Plus, a variety of domestic and craft beers available for purchase, music, giveaways, and more. Tickets are available now at Ticketmaster.com. Brought to you in part by KARK4, Fox 16, 103.7 The Buzz, and The Point 94.1.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwantey Chevrolet studio.
Make me sweat, make me harder, make me lose my breath, make me water, make me sweat, make me harder, make me lose my breath, make me water. Normally, I could keep my cool, but tonight I'm wild.
Football is back. You got to get your Bet Saracen app. Look, they're in training camp. They're preparing. You got to get prepared. You got to be ready for football season. Download your Bet Saracen app and be ready to go. And I just pulled up. First thing, when you get that Bet Saracen app, go to the promo section first thing for every day and just see what they got. I just clicked on it right now. FedEx St. Jude Championship Protection. Opt in on the promotion page. To activate the promotion, you will need to find one FedEx St. Jude 2025 Winter Futures bet and place a real cash wager on it. If you lose, but the golfer makes the top 10, you get 50% of your money back, up to $25. So if you put 50 on somebody to win, they finish in the top 10, close, so close. But you lose anyway, nope, you get half your money back. Bonus cash. And then place that wager. Download the app, Bet Saracen, the best app. Of course, Neil Atkinson will be with us later in the week. So, bring in David Basil. He joins us now on Out of Bounds. What's up, David? Great day today. Enjoyed watching you on the YouTube stream and seeing all the fantastic names that are coming to Little Rock.
Thanks, Wes. Yeah, glad to have that done. It's always sort of a stressful time. Had somebody back out. Somebody fall through like a minute before we started, so it's a little scrambling there at the end. But yeah, I think there's a little bit for everybody. Something for everybody in that lineup. I think there's some good variety, and of course, you know, having Jimmy Johnson, who I don't believe has been back to Little Rock since he played as head coach of Miami, in 1987. So, yeah, it's glad to get it done. People are excited about it, and it's glad we got it announced today.
What did it take to get Mac Brown, another coach? So you have Jimmy Johnson, Mac Brown, two coaches coming in, and it's always great to hear from the former coaches and kind of maybe their background and what they're doing now.
Yeah, he had obviously won a national championship in Texas, and ended up going back to North Carolina to coach, which, I was a little surprised. He'd done plenty in his career, but, yeah, we had him probably, I guess it was a year after he finished at Texas, and, that'll be Texas week when Arkansas plays Texas, and we'll have our Ken Hatfield Sportsmanship Award. He's a class act, great guy, obviously knows a little bit about Arkansas, Texas, and then, yeah, you look at Jimmy, Joe, it's funny. I thought it was the case, but, doing research for this, Jimmy's the only guy in the history of football to win a national championship as a player, win a national championship as head coach, then win a Super Bowl as a head coach. Nobody's done it. Nobody. And so and the fact that he's got these Arkansas ties going back to Frank Brules, and it's going to be a lot of fun. He's a Hall of Famer, and just to have him back, again, he's really, of all the guys on there, all these guys, it's not easy to get them, but getting him down from South Florida to come to Arkansas is a big deal. I think the main reason he's doing it because he hasn't been back here in forever.
How long does it take you to come up with the list and then to get everybody on board?
Yeah, it probably takes, Wes. It probably takes, 2-3 months. Starting the process. Like, I can work on somebody for 6 weeks to 2 months and then lose them, or or something come up. But I got behind this year. I started way late in the game than I normally do. I'd love to be able to start, in March, or April. But I think it was about June, late June before I really got cranked up, and so I was a little behind the 8 ball. And just like it's a chess game. You're moving one piece here to there, and anytime you can get Heisman Trophy winners, you got a guy like Lawrence Taylor who, many consider the greatest of all time. You get all those, everybody's got something. Of course, I think bringing in, 2 women, Holly Rose, well respected, super brave, super busy. You know how busy she is with her schedule. And I tell you, the one that's getting a ton of attention is Kelly Finglass, who is the director of the Cowboys cheerleading group. And she, for those that don't know, she was a former cheerleader herself back in the 80s and has been the director of the Cowboys cheerleaders since the 90s. And they've got this show that's been going on, for 15 years on CMT, but last 2 years it's been on Netflix, and it is huge. It has a huge following. And we probably had more people today ask about tickets for that one as any meeting we've ever had. Obviously, Jimmy Johnson will be a massive crowd, but it's just funny that a lot of people don't. And I didn't know until my girlfriend had told me about it. So those are some ones that are a little bit interesting. Very iconic. The cheerleaders have been there's no other group like the Cowboy cheerleaders. So it's fun to have somebody like that. Of course, Holly Rowe is another one that's outstanding.
And actually, for that, Baz, you may be able to bring in a different crowd, open it up to more people that are interested, simply because when there's a TV show that's connected, then you're bringing in a whole different audience.
Yeah, there's no question. We will have, we may have, I think that thing will probably be sold out by the time. I mean, we've had more people say, when can I get tickets? And we're actually, what we've never done before, we've usually don't put tickets on sale until a few days of Monday before the event or Tuesday or whatever. But right now you've got Jimmy Johnson and Sam Pittman tickets available at the Touchdown Club website. We're on Touchdown Club website, and we're working on having all the meetings available for tickets here in the next few days. So you want to go and get your tickets now. But yeah, there's no question. I mean, there will be a ton of people there that have never been to a Touchdown Club meeting. It's just because they love the story of the Cowboy cheerleaders and follow them on Netflix.
It seems like a lot of speakers are moving more towards the Q&A. Do you already have a feel for who's going to do Q&A and who's going to just go to the podium and speak? Or is that something that gets mapped out the closer you get to them coming in?
Joe, I changed that probably 12 years ago, and I used to just do speeches, and Steve Spurrier just got up and just had a dud of a corporate speech that just fell flat. I remember thinking, I'm never doing that again. So I don't give them a choice. I just say, we're doing Q&A, and, that's what we do for a living. You guys do it just like I do every day. We interview people, and you just cover so much more ground on Q&A, and most of the speakers are relieved to hear it. Most of them don't want to give a speech. So it's really turned out to be a positive doing that. We've got better response than just doing the standard, corporate speech, which some of them have, would do at times.
Well, just knowing, the current coaches, Sam Pittman, I think he probably would just want to take the podium and, of course, do the Q&A also. But Nathan Brown has stated in the past that if he has the option there, he's a talker. So he wants to go take the podium and and speak. So that's why the wonder is there.
Yeah, that's a great point. For those guys, those 4 that we have that are our annual, which are, the head coach of U of A, the athletic director of U of A, head coach at Arkansas State, and head coach at UCA. That's sort of a tradition, and, those guys don't get a chance. This is a good opportunity for them to get their message out. And, yeah, you're right. They would rather get their message out. But they still allow me to do Q&A with them, but you're right. They come in and have an agenda. And I tell you, talking about, Nathan Brown, he's really done a great job. I think this will be the 7th or 8th year we've had him at the Touchdown Club.
David Basil's with us talking about the Little Rock Touchdown Club speakers list that was released today. Was there one that you got solidified that you were like a little mini celebration that you were so excited?
Yeah, those first 2. I mean, after Pittman, the Jimmy Johnson is. People just don't realize how hard it is to get him. Is that he's on a waiting list? There are people in much bigger markets like Dallas, and that are paying, big bucks. And I think he was kind to work with us, and I think because of the Arkansas connection, I just know that's the big one. And then when you can bring, even like a guy like Madre Hill, I've run in a lot of Razorbacks, to have Darren McFadden, that's great too. I can't wait to have him in. That'll be, obviously we'll be able to talk about his number being, or the patch being given. But a guy like Madre and Anthony Lucas, interesting story. Both of them came in about the same time. Started with Danny Ford, made the transition to Houston Nutt. I think those 2 together will be a lot of fun. I think the other one, you mentioned sort of what you get sort of excited about. It's not easy to get a guy like Greg Sankey to agree to come. This will be the 4th time we've had the SEC commissioner. Mike Slive did it twice. This will be Greg's 2nd time. For those guys to take the time to come to our club, it shows you the kind of respect they have. So, to me, those are personal gifts. I think, Craig James will be a fascinating guy. We had Eric Dickerson last year. I joked today that those guys knew we were doing NIL before there was NIL. And then to get guys back like Tim Brown, who we had probably 10 years ago, class act the week of the Notre Dame game. But, yeah, it's just all different angles. But I think the Jimmy Johnson get was the one that I had targeted for several years. Really happy to be able to get him.
Little Rock Touchdown Club, for the most part, is on a Monday, but you have a few Tuesday dates sprinkled in, and then Lawrence Taylor being one of them, which is day after Labor Day, which has to be on a Tuesday. But it seems like you have a few more Tuesday dates sprinkled in there overall.
Yeah, that's a good observation, Joe. And obviously Lawrence Taylor, because as you mentioned, it's the day after Labor Day. But, for example, Kelly Finglass, who's with the Cowboys, it's very difficult. They play their games on, Sunday night, and also, man, it's really difficult with all they do to hop and get on a plane the next morning. And so most of these, for example, Greg Sankey said, I can't do it unless you let me do it on a Tuesday. Mondays are too crazy for me. So, we don't particularly love to be able to move it on Tuesday, but it's okay. Jimmy Johnson will be on a Tuesday, too. We have 4 Tuesdays, but you're right, that's probably the most Tuesdays we've ever done, and it sort of conflicts with the Rotary in downtown, but whatever we have to do to be able to get them in. Oh, also one other thing, too, I had mentioned, Mark May. We hadn't had Mark May in quite some time. Again, we just sort of hate Mark May because we've had him on the bus for so many years, but one of the greatest offensive linemen in the history of the game, College Football Hall of Fame, one of the greatest Redskins ever. I think one of the things I value, too, guys, is that I want every week to be something, compelling. I want it to be in all these. I mean, we haven't already talked about Mark May, and again, one of the great offensive linemen ever played the game. So, again, every week there's a cool little story of somebody or something that I think, matches up. And, we haven't talked much about Lawrence Taylor. I think his story is going to be interesting because of, he's like a Michael Jordan. People say he revolutionized the game, maybe the greatest ever to play. So I think every week there's some angle that will make these all these guests interesting.
How about the timing of getting D-Mac back in here with the jersey being honored now and, everything that's been going on with him here recently?
Yeah, that was the motivation, Joe. We have Darren every week during football season, done a great job the last 3 years. And it's funny, I mentioned today at the announcement, he was there. We honored him as a senior at Oak Grove. I remember he was, again, 18 years old, and then he spoke it, I think, twice, one at a banquet and one as a guest, and so they had him in like 5 years, and so I just thought, that's one guy that our audience always loves to have, very worthy, and because they're honoring him with the patch, I thought it was a good year to get him back. He's always a big draw, and he always does a great job. So, yeah, that was really the motivation to get him in this year.
Couple questions on the D3 Auto Sales text line for you. Somebody wondered, would you ever consider doing these at night for the working people that can't get away for lunch? Was that ever a thought?
That's a fair question. What I've learned in doing 21 years is that on average, most people don't like coming back to do a night event. Some of the others, touchdown clubs around the country, are struggling who do it at night. It's just that people sometimes, especially 15 weeks in a row. No other touchdown club in America does 15 weeks in a row, and it's just tough. Once you get home, it's tough to get somebody. You're talking about getting kids, having dinner, doing all this, and trying to get them back out. If it was a one-off kind of deal, yes, but when you're doing it 15 weeks in a row, we sort of found that you have a better chance to make this be more like a working lunch. And Wes, the other part of that is that's why we've really worked hard to be able to stream every meeting. Every meeting is streamed where you can watch it on YouTube. Arkansas PBS, does a great job. And then, of course, having it on the zone every Monday. So if you can't make it, there's really so many different ways to watch it. But that's sort of been our theory in doing this, is that it just the attendance would be less if we did it on the nights. I get the whole thing about working, and I completely understand that, but I think on average we've sort of found that lunch is probably the best overall time.
One more question for you from the D3 Auto Sales text line. Are any of the speakers having to be held at a bigger venue?
Yes, Jimmy Johnson, we went ahead and right off the bat and went ahead. We're going down to, same thing we did for Peyton Manning and Brett Favre. We're going down to State House Convention Center. I think the attendance figure or the maximum attendance at the DoubleTree is 650, 700, and for most of those, that's we'll be happy with we get those as a sellout. But once you move down to State House, you can get over that 1,000-person mark, which I think we'll have for Jimmy, and with no problem, just like for Favre and Peyton Manning.
You can go on to lrtouchdownclub.com and get a membership, first of all, but also you can sign up for text alerts. So when you get those text alerts, is it just sending you out to let you know who the next speaker is coming up and maybe just some of the events you have going on?
Yeah, that's the again, what we're going to do a little bit different this year. I agree, Joe. Is that you don't have to be a member. You don't have to join up and come every week. You can do one meeting a year, and you have to pay a little bit extra. It's still one of the best deals in America to be able to have access and then buy lunch. And it's really become a community thing. It's more than just going to see a speaker. You can be sitting next to a billionaire. You can be sitting next to the governor. You can be sitting next to a minimum wage person. Doesn't matter. It's just really a great coming together of a lot of people. That's why if you look at we've got this sizzle reel that's out that's got Ray Lewis and Peyton Manning and Favre and Kirk Herbstreit and all these people going, man, I mean, if you can feel the hospitality, you can feel the energy in the room. These people are excited to have us. And so, it's one of those things to where if you want to join up, we'd love to have you as a member. And if not, you want to make a couple, one-off kind of meetings, that's great too.
Joe and I were thinking, the zone has been able to take advantage of this for years now. I think you ought to start doing a late lunch and maybe start at 1.
Yeah, I tell you, it's you're right. Listen, it would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Hey, Baz, you know what though? That would make your day a lot easier, where you're able to spread it out a little bit.
Yeah, is that the truth? But I tell you, I just know this is that by the time we get to week 12 or 13, of course, I'm going to all the Razorback games for the Buzz and for Channel 7. So, man, it's 7 days a week for about 12 weeks, and I'll tell you, by the time we get to meeting number 13, 12 or 13, man, I'm running out of gas. So we can move it back for you guys. Sure, you betcha.
All right. Hey, great job. Once again, it's a fantastic lineup, and I know people are going to enjoy it, and I'll just watch it on YouTube.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate the support, man. Thanks so much.
You bet. Thanks, David. We'll take a break. That is one of the good things about it now with them streaming it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Fantastic.
I'll sit there and watch them, listen to them on the zone and watch them like from about 12:30 as long as I can. Usually I have to hop in the car and drive over here. If it's somebody really good, I'll just keep it on YouTube on my phone and listen to it, you know. But no, I guess actually the Buzz carries it live too. So by the time I get in the car, I'm listening to them driving over here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Great way to keep up.
All right, we got to take a break. Last break of the day. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Summer is here, and so are soggy wands and muddy paw prints. Acadie's Touch Landscaping specializes in transforming outdoor spaces with refined solutions, drainage systems, retaining walls, and flower beds designed with ease of care in mind. Plus custom decks, fencing, and synthetic turf design to help clean up your kids' play areas and pet runs. Customize your space to enjoy year-round. Call Acadie's Touch Landscaping, 501-794-2770. Let Acadie's Touch turn your dirt into dreams.
Serious injuries happen every day. If it happens to you, don't wait. Dial 8. Dial 8 for Rainwater, Holton, Sexton. 888-8888. Anywhere in the state, dial 8. We've got you covered, Arkansas. Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
O'Reilly. Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free in or out of your vehicle. We can help you find the best battery for your vehicle and budget. O'Reilly Auto Parts has batteries starting at just $89.99. Get your battery tested for free today at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon, you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Open the lid on a carton of Bluebell Homemade in the Shade, and you'll have it made, so to speak. It's a combination of our top-selling homemade vanilla ice cream with a swirl of rich chocolate fudge sauce. Enjoy an instant classic.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at Walmart Supercenters and neighborhood markets.
Ray Tucker with good news for enthusiasts of Triumph motorcycles. Honda of North Little Rock now carries the legendary classics and cutting-edge rides. We have the Bonneville Bobber, Daytona 600, the TF450X, the Stunning Evans Presley Edition, and the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. You get the idea. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Arkansas is known for its beauty. Rolling hills, scenic fields and valleys, and beautiful rivers run through our state. We want to keep Arkansas beautiful, but we need your help. Do your part by not littering and by keeping your community clean. Register for a local cleanup or become a litter grabber to fight litter at your own pace. Your community needs you. Join us in keeping Arkansas beautiful. Visit keeparkansasbeautiful.com to learn more. This message brought to you by this station, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, and the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission.
Hey, it's Randy Rainwater from Drive Time Sports. Rick Schaefer and I want you to have a great weekend. We'll get back on Monday afternoon. Great show planned for you. Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen. Hogsports.com's Trey Biddy. Thanks to Chris Crane Hyundai and Genesis of Conway. Courtney Mims from Pig Trail Nation. And the shooter, Patrick Bradley. Thanks to Bet Saracen. See you Monday on 103.7 The Buzz.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwantey Chevrolet studio. Gwantey Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
Welcome back. to the Gwantey Chevrolet Studios. We'll head straight out to Gwantey Chevrolet. Check in with James Miller. What's going on, James?
Wes Moore, how are you doing today?
Fantastic. How was the biggest sale ever?
Man, it was busy. We were rolling right along, and just big thanks to all the customers out there that shop with us and give us an opportunity to help them out and show you what Gwantey Chevrolet is all about. I mean, we like to think we're different the way we do things. You're part of our family, and we treat you that way, and we'll make sure not only your deals represent that, but also the kind of service you get from our people represent that as well. So big thanks to everybody for coming out and shopping. And it's a new month, though, Wes. But one thing that never stops is the deals at Gwantey. We never stop with our deals and make sure we take care of our people. So if you're out there shopping, looking for a new vehicle, we've got a good selection of Traxxas I want to tell you about because we've been rolling through these quick, but we've got another shipment of them came in. So if you're still out there looking, haven't been able to find the one you want, make sure you come shop with us. We've got those things starting at $299 a month.
Wow.
So we've got some cheap payments available on those.
Well, that's great. Maybe looking for a school, kids going back, or for a car for a kid that's going back to school because it's time. School's about to start up and kids are heading out.
It really is, and we had a lot of people been asking for us for those cars. We've sold quite a few of them. We've been able to trade for quite a few of them too. So if you still haven't found that one, I know I've got a 2021 Equinox, 22 Altima. I've got some stuff out there that kind of would fit into a real low payment category. If you're looking for get something real inexpensive, get your folks back and forth to school and get your kids back and forth to school in.
Awesome stuff, James. Thank you. We appreciate your time. Have a great day.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Wes.
James Miller, Gwantey Chevrolet website, GwanteyChevrolet.com. Check it out.
Weekend Recap, brought to you by Fleet Management Services, serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years. They're your small to mid-size specialist. When you need someone to service your fleet and get your employees back on the road quick, call 501-375-3672.
We had some news over the weekend. Luka gets a deal done with the Lakers.
Luka Doncic, the All-NBA star for the Lakers, has signed a 3-year, $165 million max contract extension. He was set to be a free agent next offseason, but he commits to a 3-year extension now. And this is 6 months to the day that he was traded in February to the Lakers in arguably the most stunning sports deal ever. And this is a massive change for Luka Doncic. Being in Los Angeles, it's been an emotional last 6 months, but he commits now to the Lakers through the next 3 years. And Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, the new owner Mark Walter, they've built a close rapport with Luka Doncic and his inner circle to get him to commit here. And now Luka Doncic, he's going to be the face of this Lakers organization moving forward. When they acquired him in that trade, they wanted him to be the face for the next decade. And already this offseason, I'm told he's recruited Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton to the Lakers.
I think it was a foregone conclusion. I think anybody with sense knew that it was going to come to this. You went to arguably the most storied franchise in sports annals. To be in a position where your marketability can elevate to unreal proportions, you just knew that ultimately this was going to get done. And you see him having lost this weight, you get excited because as great as he is as an offensive talent in the NBA, you're assuming that better condition, a loss of weight with better conditioning is going to contribute not only to him being a better defender, being somebody that's usable on the defensive side of the ball, but some versatility is going to develop within his offensive game where he's moving without the ball and not standing around so you can utilize some of the other assets that you hope to have on the squad.
Good for Luka. Got his money, got in shape, now he's ready to roll. I'm happy for you. Baseball, Braves, Reds.
That ball's hit hard, deep to left field. It is gone. Eli White with a 3-run home run to put the Braves in front. There's another drive off of the bat of White, and Eli White has hit his second home run of the Speedway Classic. For them to pull off a deal that they felt good about. Let's fly deep down the line to the right field corner. It is knocked out of there by White, and it becomes just a long single. That close to a game-tying home run.
All over the field.
Yeah, Eli White, he's in right field, and he's going to make a play on the ball at the wall. He doesn't catch the ball, but he's able to knock the ball down and keep it from going over the wall because If it goes over the wall, it's a 2-run home run. Game tie, bottom of the ninth. And Reds still had chances because they had a couple of runners on base, but they were able to shut them down, and it ended 4-2. He just made a great play there on the ball and was able to keep it in the park.
An easy pick for player of the game.
Oh, yeah, and they got a huge trophy, too.
Did anybody hit it on the track?
Yeah, Eli White.
His home run?
Yes.
Just kept bouncing and bouncing and bouncing, rolling. Yeah. That's cool.
Turner to center. Adams back at the wall. It's good! Cubs win!
Sorry about that, Rick. 5-3 Cubs over his Orioles. Oh, that's our music, huh? I didn't even realize it was that time.
Oh, yeah, went by fast.
Fast show today. Coming up tomorrow, Coach Z will join us. Talk some Razorback football. Talk some high school football. Should be a fun day. I think I've had something else set up. That's for Wednesday. All right. Joe, have a good night.
You too.
Yeah, I'm planning on it. We will be back here tomorrow, same time, but stick around. Drive Time Sports is next.